presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Wisconsin.
This Brewers National Series on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Toyota. And we welcome you to the home of the Brewers and the home of the most epic tailgating you will ever see, Miller Park. It's the Nationals and the Brewers. It's game 2 of this 3-game series this afternoon. And look at them. They're decked out in their old Negro League uniforms. The Milwaukee Bears. And that's Keon Broxton, his first career home run yesterday. It was a big one. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park, Milwaukee. Great to have you with us alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Telly Hughes, our reporter today. And always good to see these throwback uniforms. I think it's one of the fun days on the calendar to see the Negro Leagues being honored as they are today.
Homestead Grays against the Milwaukee Bears. You know, the Homestead Grays, one of the signature organizations back in the Negro Leagues. The Milwaukee Bears played 1 year here, but always great to be able to honor, you know, some of the guys were able to come here to Miller Park, not able to play in the Major League, so it's their day today.
Well, let's talk about the Brewers here at Miller Park because their record is outstanding here lately, and for whatever reason, the Brewers are thriving in this venue right now.
Maybe it's the sausage race. I'm not quite sure. It's one of those things that you have a hard time explaining, but you know, the Brewers are 20-17 here at Miller Park. Those 20 home wins, that's good for a tie for 4th best in the National League. And you can see the runs per game, almost 5. One of the reasons Big Chris Carter has hit 13 of his 18 home runs here at Miller Park. That's #1 in all of baseball. So you see the starting rotation has been very good this month. A 191 earned run average. The bullpen showing signs of coming back to where they were early in the season, but 6-2 here this month at Miller Park, pretty good.
Well, take it. Matt Garza's up today. It'll be his Miller Park debut this season. Nationals have lost 6 straight. Garza's trying to hand them 7 in a row. Telly has more on Garza after this.
Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. Washington National starter Gio Gonzalez will look to snap a team season-high 6-game losing streak in Game 2 of this 3-game set. Meanwhile, Matt Garza will make his Miller Park debut this season and his 3rd overall start. Garza returned to the rotation in San Francisco on June 14th after spending the first 2+ months on the disabled list. Garza was rock solid in his first 2 outings, surrendering just 1 run over 10 innings. I had a chance to catch up with Brewers pitching coach Derek Johnson to ask him about his first 2 outings, and he said that he's been more impressed than shocked.
Yeah, not surprised, but certainly impressed. He's pitched really well. You never know, what you're going to get, especially with the layoff he had. But I've talked to him a lot through that layoff, and I mean, this guy's been waiting for this opportunity. He's waiting for that time where he could get back out and get on the mound, and he's done a great job. I mean, you look at kind of where it stands the last 2 outings, you'd say it was pretty consistent. It was pretty good all the way around, and you just kind of hope that he keeps going with it.
Matt Garza on the Miller Park mound for the first time this season. He'll make a pitch for his first win of the season and his first career win over the Nationals. Game 2 between the Brewers and Nationals coming your way next.
In the air to left, hit pretty well. That's got a chance, and it's up and gone. Keon Broxton. That ball's hit well. Neuenhuis watching this one fly. Goodbye, home run. Tying run at first. The 1-2, a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Jeffress notches number 20, and the Brewers win tonight. What a thriller. Brewers baseball this afternoon on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. And we welcome you from Miller Park. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. Blue skies up above, nice and warm out. Garza leaps his way onto the Miller Park mound for the first time in 2016. Remember, he missed the first 2 months on the disabled list with a lat injury. So this is start number 1 here, and here's the lineup he'll face. It's brought to you by Potawatomi. Hard-hitting Nationals lineup managed by Dusty Baker, and it features one of the game's best players in Bryce Harper, and also features the league's top batting average man in Daniel Murphy. Wilson Ramos had 4 hits last night, but he was the final out in that win for the Brewers last night. All ready to roll here. Garza facing Ben Revere to start it. These two teams decked out in their Negro League throwback uniforms. And Garza's first pitch is in there for a strike, and away we go.
Yeah, first 2 starts for Garza coming off the disabled list have been very good. He's not only 1 run in 10 innings, 6 scoreless last time out against the Dodgers in L.A.
Revere rolls one to first. Nice and easy for Chris Carter, and that's how the day begins for Matt Garza. And I'll take us through the Brewers, or let's call them the Milwaukee Bears defense today, brought to you by Menards.
Yeah, you got Braun's back in the lineup. He had yesterday off. It was Alex Presley out in left, Broxton in center, Perez in right, so he'll do look in the outfield. Hill, VR, Jeanette, and Carter pretty much as usual in the infield, and Jonathan Lucroy behind home plate.
Now, Ryan Braun had the day off yesterday. Craig Counsell called it a scheduled maintenance day, and the Brewers still won the game. And it was an impressive win at that, defeating Max Scherzer and the Washington Nationals. Another guy who had a day off yesterday, Jason Worth. He's back in there this afternoon. He has been a red-hot hitter for the Nationals. This Washington team has really fallen on hard times here lately. Nationals got swept in a 4-game series against the Dodgers, and they have now lost 6 consecutive games, and yet they still lead the National League East by 3 games, leading the New York Mets starting play today, and then they're up 4 games on the Miami Marlins.
Yeah, the way to beat the Marlins, or I should say the Nationals, is to keep them in the ballpark. They lead the National League in homers. Did not homer in last night's game. And again, Jason Worth did not start last night, and didn't even pinch hit in that 8th inning with the bases loaded.
Yeah, and it looked like he wanted to hit. He had the batting gloves on and was looking for a bat. In the hole, VR. Got a strong arm, low throw, but it's dug out by Carter. Save VR an error there. And out number 2.
Pretty easy ground ball for VR. Watch him get on the side of it. Kind of drops the arm, and a nice pick over there by Chris Carter, able to keep the foot on the bag. Pretty easy pick on a short hop.
2 up and 2 down. VR has been terrific this year at the shortstop position, making not just the routine play, but also making the extraordinary play as well. He's got one of the great throwing arms in the game, and he's having a bang-up year offensively as well. Been fun to watch. 2 quick outs. Here's Bryce Harper now. And Garza missing inside. Harper coming in batting .252. Has 15 home runs, 43 runs batted in. And an inside fastball grounded right to second base. So Jeanette puts him away, and that's a nice start for Matt Garza. Quick 1-2-3 inning. The Brewers are coming up. Roof is open. Beautiful day for baseball today. Nationals go 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Now the Brewers are coming up against Gio Gonzalez. There you see Jonathan Villar. He fronts the Potawatomi Brewers lineup, followed by Aaron Hill, then Ryan Braun. Lucroy, Carter, and Perez in the middle of the order, with Jeanette, Broxton, and Garza rounding out the starting nine. And Rock, they're facing a struggling pitcher right now in Gio Gonzalez.
Yeah, he got off to a great start. ERA in his first handful of starts was under 2, but since that time he's got an 8-game losing streak going. The last game he won was May 18th against the Mets, so it's been a while for him.
VR first ball swinging, fouls it away. Gonzalez in his last 6, 0-5, an ERA at 7.60. That covers 34 innings. And it is a very talented Washington Nationals starting rotation. But it is interesting, though, they're in first place. Their bullpen is a little shaky, and they've got some injuries. Papelbon, their closer, has been injured. Matter of fact, he threw today, had a 40-pitch session in the bullpen today, so he's on the comeback trail. Their starting pitchers aren't giving them a whole lot of depth either. And I think there's an overriding concern that the Nationals may be pushing that bullpen a little too much. Slow roller to short. And VR will reach on an infield hit. Good way to start the day as VR uses his wheels.
Yeah, once that ball got by Gonzalez, you knew there was no chance for the infield to throw out Jonathan Villar, not the way he gets down that line. So a base hit for the Brewers to get things going. The Brewers able to put a 2-spot up against Max Scherzer yesterday in the first inning to give Zach Davies an early lead. It'd be nice to do the same for Garza here tonight.
Well, got a speedy base runner aboard. Jonathan Villar at first for Aaron Hill. Dropped into the 2 spot in the batting order today. Did hit leadoff on the road in Oakland. Had a good game there. He's normally situated near the bottom of the order, but I think Counsell likes his bat, likes that presence.
Pretty much flip-flop Jeanette and Hill. Not exact flip-flop, but to get Hill in the 2 spot with left-handers. And you get Jeanette back down in the lineup a little bit, but Scooter's been swinging the bat pretty well against lefties as of late.
Jeanette's A-OK with that. He's just glad to be in the lineup against left-handed pitching. Been a platoon player his first few years in the big leagues, but this is his window to prove he's an everyday player, and he has risen to the challenge, and that means Aaron Hill moves up in the lineup, and that means they had to find a spot for Hernan Perez, and today it's right field. A middle infielder by trade. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hill takes a ball low. Hill comes in batting .269. He has an on-base percentage of .348. Great numbers there. Slugging .400. Hill has 7 home runs. He's driven in 24. That's Greg Gibson calling the balls and strikes today, by the way. Mike Easterbrook, Dana DeMuth, Ed Hickox on the bases. There's Greg with that hockey-style mask. Could be a tough day for the hitter as far as the sight lines go today. These late afternoon starts at Miller Park create some shadows, and that's goes for any major league ballpark, any ballpark with a 3rd, 4th, or 5th deck. And as the sun sets, you're going to have shadows like this,
which is just about everyone in the big leagues.
Right.
Well, yeah, you figure the Brewers got to be used to it by now. Sometimes it makes it a little bit difficult, but got to press on. Both teams have to deal with it.
Hill gets jammed, fouls one away.
Yeah, velocity down just a little bit for Gonzalez. I mean, 89 and 92 with the fastball. He's got a good changeup and a curveball to go with the heater. He has been erratic. He's walked 4 batters in each of his last 2 starts. Unusual for him.
Joe Ross, Gio Gonzalez, Tanner Roark, and then the 2 pillars of the rotation, Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg. And Hill didn't get jammed that time. Turned it around and a base hit. So Aaron Hill with a single, back-to-back hits to start it. Let's check the Nationals defensively, brought to you by Menards.
Yeah, the Nationals have been very good defensively. Only 27 errors committed for the Nationals. That's best in all of baseball. 990 fielding percentage. Very strong up the middle with Espinosa and Murphy. You got Rendon and Zimmerman on the corners, and Wilson Ramos, the very good catcher, had 4 hits yesterday behind home plate.
Jason Worth now the left fielder with Harper manning right field. Everybody thought Jason Worth was out of his mind when he signed that big deal with the Nationals, leaving Philadelphia, who at the time were ripping through 5 consecutive division titles. Nationals were rebuilding, but it's been the Nationals that have elevated to the top of the division. Braun swinging at the first pitch. Gonzalez throws and out at first. Good catch by Zimmerman with what looks like a napkin floating right in his line between the baseball and the bag. Is like a little hot dog wrapper or something.
It fell right out of his pocket. I'm not sure. It wasn't there to start the play. You can see that off-speed pitch by Gio Gonzalez. There's the napkin. Where is it? You see it? There it is.
No problem.
And he got the bag as he went by.
The old toilet paper on the shoe bit. It's always funny. Good concentration there by Zimmerman. Well, it works like a sacrifice. Braun wasn't up there long. He's put out 1-3. Second and third now for Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy has thrived in his at-bats in his career against Gonzalez. 6 for 8. He's walked 3 times as well. Took the collar last night. 0 for 3. Batting average dropped down to .301. This is a matchup of 2 of the best hitting catchers in all of baseball. Lucroy's been on the scene for a few years. Wilson Ramos only this year has turned himself into a force offensively, not just with power, but the batting average as well. He's second in the National League in hitting coming in.
Well, that's a pretty good lineup to be sandwiched in. You got Murphy in front of you. You got Harper in front of you. Got to pitch to somebody, right?
And a good block back there by Ramos. 2 balls and a strike. Lucroy against Gio Gonzalez. Got a little history. 6 hits. He's walked 3 times. It's been a friendly matchup for him.
And typically Lucroy is much better against right-handed pitching than left, and particularly this year, but and we'll see how it works out with Lucroy and Gonzalez here today.
2 in scoring position for Lucroy. 2-1 the count. And a wave and a miss.
Change up. It's a good one. Now you see the grip, kind of a circle change going away from a right-handed hitter. Good arm action on it. Looks like a fastball when it leaves the hand.
Lucroy hitting .246 this year with runners in scoring position. That number's low for him. He's typically one of the better on the ball club in that category. And Gonzalez trying to thread the needle inside. He missed. And the count goes full now. 3-2. Just underway at Miller Park. Afternoon baseball today. Hope you've made your way to us. Call your friends. Let them know we're here at 3 o'clock. Got a day game tomorrow once again. Lucroy chased one. Down he goes. Maybe a little over anxious, and a strikeout for Gonzalez. Second out of the inning.
Yeah, curveball that time. We talked about his curveball being a very good pitch for him. And change up. He got a swing and a miss. And now the big curveball going straight down. Lucroy chases one out of the zone.
Brewers have had their problems striking out with men on base. Strikeouts were on display yesterday.
Oh, tons of them, right?
29 strikeouts in yesterday's game combined between the 2 teams. Chris Carter with 2 on. Brewers struck out 13 times yesterday. The Nats 16. And a lot of men on base when a number of those strikeouts popped up as well.
29 of 51 outs.
And you're thinking, well, it was a Max Scherzer day on the mound, so you figure a lot of strikeouts. And Scherzer had his fair share. He struck out 10 in 6 innings. Zach Davies, the Brewers starter, struck out 9, tied a career best in his rookie year. He struck out 9 in just 5 innings. Gave up 3 earned runs. Did not factor in the decision. Scherzer took the loss yesterday.
Yeah, Brewers bullpen had 7 punch outs.
Carter's got it 3-1. Carter with 18 home runs this year. That's tied for 3rd most in the National League. 2 players with 21 coming in, and Carter launches way back. How far will it fly? 3-run shot for Chris Carter, and the Brewers started with a bang here this afternoon. 3-0 Milwaukee on Carter's 19th of the season.
And 14 of them have been right here at Miller Park. There's the start you're looking for. They got off to a 2-0 start yesterday. 3-0 here in the first today. Changeup on a 3-1 pitch, and Carter able to center on it and knock it out of here. Second deck and left. That's a good way to start the day.
Rock talked to us as we hit the air today about the success the Brewers have had here at home, and Chris Carter is loving home life at Miller Park. That's his 14th. He leads all players in the big leagues in home runs in their home venue. 14 home runs at Miller Park for Carter. He's got 33 runs batted in, same number that's on his back, and he gives the Brewers a quick strike 3-run lead. Hernan Perez, fly ball into center, and Revere's got it to end the inning. Chris Carter goes boom in the first inning on a changeup. He launches one to left, and the Brewers out of the gates quick here this afternoon. They're up 3-0. Chris Carter responsible for those 3 runs on the board. A first inning 3-run homer. Now time for today's home field advantage, brought to you by Lowe's. And we mentioned the 14 home runs. That is the best in all of Major League Baseball in his home park. He's hit 19 now. third in the National League, and he is just 2 off the National League lead in that category. And that is a great start for Chris Carter this afternoon.
He didn't pull many home runs. I mean, a lot of them, gap around the right field, and he got a change up and hit it deep.
In the air to right, hit well. Back is Perez. He reaches up. It's off the top of the wall. Daniel Murphy on his way to second. Now thinking third, and he's on his way there. It'll be a stand-up or a sliding triple. He didn't have to slide. But Murphy starts the second inning, the league's leading hitter, with a 3-bagger.
Yeah, just a little bit of inexperience. Not a little bit, a lot of inexperience out in right field for Hernan Perez. And it looked as though if he had a little bit better understanding of that warning track, he could have gone back and made that catch, but wasn't quite sure where he was. That big wide warning track out in right. And Murphy in with a triple.
Well, Perez, a work in progress in the outfield. He's in the lineup because of his bat. And because Scooter Gennett is now an everyday player and he's getting this time against left-handed starters, Counsell figured he needed to find a spot for Perez. And with Domingo Santana on the disabled list, the normal starting right fielder, open auditions out there in right field right now.
Yeah. And Flores has been playing a lot out in right, and he's been swinging the bat well, but with the lefty, you get Perez out there who just jumped a little bit too soon. He had room to go back and make the catch, but just wasn't sure where he was.
Runner at third to start the second. Garza facing Wilson Ramos. And he shoots one to right field, a base hit. Just like that, the Nats are on the board. RBI single for Ramos, his 5th hit already. He's 5 for 6 in this series.
Well, the one out that he made was a big one. It ended last night's game on a strikeout from Jeffress. He's been shooting the ball all over the diamond in this series. Left to right. There's a curved ball, stays back nicely and hits it hard into right field. He's seeing it pretty well.
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
Got the top 2 hitters in the National League, Murphy and Ramos, hitting back-to-back in the Washington lineup. So here is Ryan Zimmerman now with a runner at first. This is the part of the order last night. We were talking about strikeouts from last night's game. Zimmerman, Rendon, and Espinoza, 6, 7, and 8 in Washington's lineup. They combined for 9 strikeouts last night in those 3 spots. And a lot of those Ks were with men on base.
Yeah, the only 2 spots in the lineup for the Nationals that did not strike out, leadoff hitter Revere and Daniel Murphy. Actually, Murphy did strike out once. So yeah, just Revere, the leadoff hitter, the only guy that didn't punch out.
Garza had a nice and easy first inning, 3 up and 3 down with 3 ground balls and a shot to second. Got a chance to turn it. Gennett, VR, throw to first, no throw. So they get the lead out at second base. Zimmerman will reach on a fielder's choice. And the putout goes 4-6, second to short.
Yeah, awkward with the shift. It took VR a little bit longer than normal to get to second base, and it did look like Gennett had a tough time getting out of his glove. Let's check out the pivot for Scooter Gennett here at second base. Is he able to get the ball out right away? Took him a while to get the ball on its way to second base. And that's what lost the double play possibility.
VR wisely holds it. So the first out of the inning. Brewers cut down the lead runner. Now Anthony Rendon. A lot of home runs up and down this Washington lineup. And here's a guy in Rendon hitting 7th in the lineup. This guy would certainly be a feature hitter in a lot of lineups around the big leagues. He's got 7 home runs this year. Nationals have 6 players in their starting lineup today with double-digit home run totals.
Yeah, 99 is a team that's best in the National League, and to keep in the ballpark like the Brewers were able to do last night, you have a chance to beat them.
On the ground, VR will go to second for one. Jeanette's relay not in time. So Garza getting the ground balls right now. That'll be another fielder's choice. This put out goes 6-4. 2 outs in the inning. All 5 of the outs for Garza have come courtesy of the ground ball. That's a good sign early for Matt Garza.
Keep the ball low in the strike zone, get a little movement on it. And when he gets that slider going, that's a good pitch for him. That last one, 92 in on the hands of Rondon.
Two outs, runner at first for Espinoza. Switch hitting shortstop. And back in on the hands goes Garza. 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
That's why you have to pitch power hitting ball clubs. You got to pitch them in, but don't leave it out over the plate. Make them aware of inside, then attack them later on in the game with the slow stuff.
And under those parameters, you're dealing with about a 6-inch window, right?
Yeah, if that. Maybe 3.
Espinoza bunts, and that is going to roll foul. Fortunate. That certainly would have been a hit. The shift was on, so Espinoza sensing an opportunity there.
Well, typically that's not what you're looking to do. I mean, when you have the pitcher coming up, he's got 13 home runs and there's 2 outs. I mean, I guess Dusty Baker would just assume have him swing away and drive in a couple of runs as opposed to bunt for a base hit and bring the pitcher up.
Dusty Baker, first year as the skipper in Washington, knew he inherited a very good team, a team that underachieved last year. Matt Williams let go after the season. No balls, 2 strikes. And it's down and in. Didn't miss by much. Dusty looks right at home in those Homestead Grays uniforms, doesn't he? I don't think they had the cartoon face sweatbands back in those days.
No,
but that's okay.
Those are nice though. They're cool. He's been wearing those a long time.
Yeah, for sure. Bounced one in. Look at that stop by Lucroy. Keeps the runner at first base.
That baseball barely made the dirt. And Lucroy's still able to block it. Check it out. Slider. Watch where this bounces, if you can see it. That bounced about 3-4 feet in front of home plate. That didn't even make the camera shot there.
He threw it off the screen.
Nice block, Luke.
2-2 the count on Espinoza. 2 outs in the inning. And another one in there. Well, he's just powering that fastball. Certainly the book on the Nationals includes an inside fastball. We saw Davies do the same thing yesterday.
Well, you got to pitch inside. I mean, when you have a power hitting ball club, these guys just like to get their arms extended. So you got to pound them inside, make them aware of inside, and then get them to chase the soft stuff.
Espinoza stands right on top of the plate. He doesn't give you much room inside. Lucroy's back in there again. And a swing and a foul. Looked like a breaking ball that time. Garza's been excited about this start, getting back to Miller Park. Long road back, a lat injury. Back of the shoulder. And it knocked him out for 2 months. He got hurt in the final exhibition game of the season. Well, his final exhibition game. That was in Houston, remember. Brewers played a series against the Astros before the season began. Made 3 minor league rehab starts. Deemed himself ready to go. He was on a pretty strict pitch count his first time out against the Giants. And did not last long. 4 innings in that one. And then he came back against the Dodgers. Actually could have gone deeper into the game. Just the circumstances with the score had to be pinch hit for. But he did go 6. 3-2 misses. Ball 4. Espinoza reaches. And now Garza will deal with the pitcher Gonzalez with 2 on.
Well, he did get his walk. He tried to bunt earlier in that at bat. I guess if nothing else to clear the pitcher for the 3rd inning.
Left-handed thrower, right-handed batter. Gio Gonzalez.
Hanging that pitching arm out in front.
You know, a lot of guys wear the brace too, the pad on the pitching elbow, the moneymaker, but not Gonzalez. He trusts his natural instincts to abort if one's coming in on him.
Pull the chute. I'm out.
He looks a little different this year, right? He's cut that long hair. He's certainly been the wild card in the rotation this year.
Yeah, he was real good early, and you know, as you talked about, you know, ERA over 7. Yeah, since his first handful of starts. They say his velocity's down a little bit. Command has been a little bit suspect, like we saw in the 1st inning here.
Garza's got him 0-2. A run is in for Washington on 2 hits. And Gonzalez strikes out. Lucroy will secure it with the tag, and that will retire the side. First punch out for Garza. Nats get a run. 3-1 Milwaukee.
Park Brewers with a 3-1 lead over the Nationals as Scooter Gennett will lead things off. And as of late, Scooter has really been hitting left-handed pitching a lot better than he has in the past. Scooter is 9 for his last 20 against left-handed pitchers. He's hitting .294, and before this stretch, Scooter came into the season only hitting .124 against lefties, and had a chance to catch up with Scooter and ask him about his success against left-handers, and he said it's just basically been because he's been having more opportunities against left-handed pitching this year. And Craig Counsell said that it's Hernan Perez's versatility that has led to Scooter getting more at-bats, because Scooter is no longer a liability in terms of facing left-handed pitching. So it all seems to be coming together for Scooter, and he says he's been very comfortable with his opportunities, B.A.
Oh, I love that discussion right there, Telly. There's a lot to unpack there with Scooter Gennett, and his ability against left-handers has certainly led to Craig Counsell giving him a shot. Now, he was a platoon player in his first 3 years, mostly because of these numbers. Now, he'd get his chance every year, and he didn't perform well against left-handed pitching. But as Telly mentioned, he has 9 hits in his last 20 at-bats. He was just 1 for his first 14. That 1 was a home run against Madison Bumgarner. But I like how Gennett's kind of throwing it back on the manager. You know, he's hitting lefties now. What gives? Well, I'm in the lineup more and getting more opportunities.
Well, it's true. I mean, you know, when you're able to see left-handers more often, you're going to be a little bit more comfortable. You're going to be able to establish a plan and a philosophy against lefties, and he's been able to incorporate that. And you know, in all honesty, I mean, Craig Counsell has said that, you know, Hernan Perez, although you want him in there against lefties, he's actually a better hitter against right-handed pitching. Right. Talking about Perez. But the fact that Jeanette's been hitting well against lefties is why Perez is out in right field and not at second base.
Jeanette chases a breaking ball, and he's down on strikes.
Actually, right field instead of second base.
All that talk about Jeanette against lefties, and he chases one. It's hard to follow. I realize at home if you're trying to follow this three-man weave of players, right? But bottom line is, if you're Scooter Jeanette, you are rooting hard for Hernan Perez to perform well in right field.
Right.
Because it's his versatility, the fact that he was an infielder and he's able to go to the outfield, has allowed Craig Counsell to free up his lineup a little bit and give Jeanette those opportunities.
And when Domingo Santana comes back, he might not get those chances.
That's right. He might go back into a platoon.
Right.
Here's Keon Broxton. Boy, he's got to be flying high after last night. That was his moment last night. He's been dreaming of it his entire life. Hit a home run in the major leagues for the first time. And it was a big one. Comes off Max Scherzer, and it tied the game. The Nats had taken the lead. Powerball home run #1 of his career. Made it 3-3, and look how happy the bullpen is for him.
It was a slider from Scherzer that just kind of spun up there, and he knocked it out of the ballpark. And well, if that doesn't give you a lot of confidence, what will? A pinch hit home run.
Yeah, Brewers have 3 different outfielders today compared to yesterday's lineup, with Braun back in there, Broxton, and then Perez. Yesterday you had the lefties, the left-handed versions. You had Presley in left and Neuenhuis in center, Ramon Flores in right. All the right-handers are in there today. Two-two to Keon. Lays off, tough pitch. Full count now. Broxton can really run. When he gets on base, he's electric. He's got a chance to be a 20 stolen base, maybe 30 stolen base a year guy if he gets on enough. And that's a ball inside, and he is on with Matt Garza coming up. Broxton, a base stealer, is aboard.
Hey, a reminder that tomorrow afternoon it's Greg Vaughn bobblehead day here at Miller Park. All fans in attendance as the Brew Crew wraps up the series against the Nats. We'll get a bobblehead of the former Brewers slugger wearing his 90s jersey. That's courtesy of Pepsi. I hear that Greg Vaughn's in the ballpark today.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He's coming on the air with us tomorrow,
right?
Though, right?
Yep. And he's here today, tomorrow. You know, Davey Nelson has an alumni group out in left field. They're having a good time out there.
Well, I bet they are. Garza gets a bunt down, a good one. Gonzalez has only one play. And there is out #2, a sacrifice bunt for the pitcher Garza. It's a common move in the National League to see pitchers bunt with one away. And that'll put a runner in scoring position for the top of the order in Jonathan Villar. So you're saying that group in left field with Davey, maybe they're having a little too much fun for Greg Vaughn to come on the air with us today.
No, I think we'll be okay. You know, Vaughn is kind of responsible in that regard. They're in the check deck out there in left field.
Oh, I see.
Left center. And if we can pick him out there, I guarantee he's going to have those Oakleys on that he has there on his bobblehead.
Kind of a signature. He's going to join us tomorrow. Joining us today, by the way, is Corey Ray, the Brewers' #1 pick, 5th overall in the recent draft. Worked out with the team today, signed the contract.
Hit some monumental blasts in batting practice to right field. Do you see some of those balls he hit?
I was impressed. There's Greg Vaughn.
Let's see. He's got are those the Oakleys? Are those the really expensive Ray-Bans or whatever?
Is that Bill Castro out there?
Billy Castro's out on the left. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen him in years. What a great guy. So Davey and Greg Vaughn. Have some fun with those guys tomorrow. And Greg will have his bobblehead day. We'll have to get him to sign this bobblehead they brought us.
Yeah, right.
In the booth. I'll be keeping that one. 2-1. And VR fouls it away. 2-2. Sunglasses are, I think, what makes it look so great. Look at those things. Those are tight. See the sun?
Old school Oakleys, right? That's not what he's got on now.
Tomorrow he better. That was the first sunglasses that wrapped around in that fashion. They were groundbreaking back in the 90s, those Oakleys. They were awesome. 2-2 the count on Jonathan VR. Fouls it away. And for any of you Oakley reps out there, we'll be putting our address on the screen. And
we'll be more than happy to wear them on the air.
Feel free to send those our way. No, it's good. That was a good look. A lot of big leaguers wore them. Did you have a pair?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever catch with glass sunglasses?
No. That's something that they just started doing.
Kids today.
Should have done it. I always wondered why they couldn't have like a sun visor on the top of your mask.
They do.
They do now.
Right. You should have thought of that.
I did.
You could have been a millionaire, Rock.
They don't listen to backup catchers.
Wow. Did you tell anyone? Because they may have stolen your idea.
I think my dad, maybe.
Principal Pete.
He didn't know what to do about it.
VR up the middle. It's got some spin, and it's through. A base hit. And in to score is Keon Broxton. 2 out, 2 strike. RBI single for VR. And the Brewers get their run right back. It's 4-1 Milwaukee.
Manufacturing runs. The Brewers doing a good job of it in this inning. A walk, a sacrifice bunt, and a base hit to score Broxton. Well, you love to see that kind of run production right there. Fastball down. And I think the fact that Murphy knocked it down just a little bit made that an obvious run. It would have been an easy run for the Brewers anyway with Broxton, but knocked it down. No chance to make a play.
VR's 2 for 2 off Gio Gonzalez. And let's see if he's on the move here with Aaron Hill at the plate. Hill singled to left his last time up. VR is the major league leader in stolen bases. He has 25. Big lead. There he goes. Hill lets him run. Throw to second. Short. And VR's in there with a stolen base. Number 26. What a year he's having.
Yeah, pretty good job by the middle of the infield to keep that ball in the infield. Not a very good throw by Wilson Ramos. That's not even close. I mean, the arm dropped. It just sank into the ground. And that's a good jump by VR. He went on first move and guessed right.
That throw from Ramos hit VR. Otherwise, he's standing at third base. He's a little shaken up. I thought initially Murphy knocked it down, but it was VR sliding into the bag that stopped the ball. So Hill, chance to drive and a run, and he lines one to left, a base hit. VR winds it up. He's going to try to score. The throw from Worth, and VR is out at the plate. What a throw by Jason Worth. Right on the money. So Worth picks up an outfield assist. And the inning ends at home plate. They're going to take a quick peek at this.
Did you get him on the back? I think he got him on the shoulder, on the back of the neck there, and it's good. Yeah, he's out. That's not even close.
Good play by Ramos.
This will be a quick look by the Brewers.
Fans running out of air. We can go to commercial now. Out at the plate is the call. 4-1 in the second. They lead 4-1 now. A reminder here that Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Positive Coaching Alliance and its mission to develop better athletes, better people by working to provide all youth and high school athletes a positive, character-building sports experience. Visit foxsportssupports.com to learn more. Matt Garza back at it. A bunt by Revere. Barehanded Hill. Throw to first in time. What a play that was. Aaron Hill, he was ready for a bunt. And he gets Revere.
Yeah, he's been solid all season long, whether it be at third or second. Playing up the middle on the shift, and he was in on the grass. Revere figuring if I put it where I want to, they're not going to throw me out. But a tremendous play by Aaron Hill. He just gets the job done. Aaron Hill. He does not flashy about it, but he just gets the job done.
So Hill, who's 2 for 2 at the plate today.
That was a heck of a bunt too.
Here's Jason Worth. Took an RBI away from Hill with that strike to home plate to cut down VR trying to score. That's a right fielder's arm playing left field these days for the Nationals.
Yeah, a lot of air under that throw. He wasn't about to short hop his catcher all the way in the air and got VR easily. VR didn't get a very good jump on that base hit.
Yeah, VR started to steal, stopped, and then had to get his momentum going again.
Yeah, you can see that Worth has the baseball before VR's at third, and they throw him out.
One ball, one strike on Worth. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. Worth's been hot recently for Washington. His overall average at .258. He's had a number of big hits, walk-off hits, game-winning RBIs this year. That one's in the air to center field. Got in on the label a little, and it'll stay in for Broxton. 2 outs. Beautiful day here in Milwaukee. Get your choice of sun on that side of the field, or you can find the shade. No sorry necessary. You're fine. No need to apologize. We're there to be in there with the fans. You don't have, if you're a fan and you see a camera. She thought she was in the way.
We'll work around you.
Yeah, ma'am, you're part of the shot.
Actually,
you're not.
that's why he took the shot there. He wanted you in it.
It's very polite, though. You know, there are a lot of cities where a camera operator will go into the stands and they'll get yelled at. Here, it's all friendly.
You have any in mind you're thinking of?
I mean, I can think a lot on the Northeast. Up in the Northeast. There's a ball to Harper. 2-0 the count. Sun splashed on that side of the field today.
Gorgeous today. Yep.
There's our guy, hardest working man in showbiz, Jesse Levy. Giving you all those great images down on the field.
Runs out there in the field, and he was weaving in and out of the Nationals coming off the field, getting shots at the visiting dugout. That's kind of dangerous.
Harper has been known to green light at 3-0, so you can't just lay one in there against him. And he takes a strike.
Thing is, you just can't pitch around Bryce Harper like there's nobody behind him that can hit. I mean, you got Daniel Murphy behind him. And choose your poison, right?
Murphy's been hot. Ramos has been hot. Harper's dangerous. There's a strike. Good fastball there. Garza got in on Harper's hands last time up. He jammed him in a little roller to second. And that's been the area for the Brewers against this slugger, the reigning MVP.
Might be looking in there right now.
3-2 pitch. And he missed. Yeah, he's mad at himself. Garza let one get away, he felt. And Harper walks. He's second in the majors in walks. Only Paul Goldschmidt has more walks in the big leagues. It's walk number 59 for Harper. Rock, our trivia today, courtesy of carsoup.com. Which 3 Nationals coaches also coached on the Brewers Major League staff? That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Daniel Murphy now with 2 outs. Tripled and scored last inning. And Garza starts it with a breaking ball.
I guess you have to know quite a bit about the Nationals organization to know every one of their coaches to answer that question, right? Or like us, you just open a media guide and look.
Google, that feels like a Google search right there.
He's not one of them.
Team website, you can find it. On the ground, another base hit. Man, this guy is something. Harper's going to make the turn, go to third base. Daniel Murphy, 2 more hits today. Murphy had 2 last night.
I'd say any problem with that throw into the infield, and Bryce Harper was going to try and score. He was busting it around second base. They didn't hold him up until the very end. Ken Broxton took his time to get it in. Barrels that one up and sneaks it into center field on the shift. And Bryce Harper is cooking around the bags. He's thinking about maybe getting into third base. He isn't slowing down, is he? I mean, he's thinking about any kind of a bobble or some kind of a bad throw. He was going to try and score.
It's great hustle, puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Guy plays hard, no doubt about that. So it's Wilson Ramos now with runners at the corner suddenly, and he's on the first pitch. A fly ball to right. Perez, a long run, but he's got it, and that will end the inning. It's a big bat to retire. Next half inning, we're going to sit down for a chat with Corey Ray. He's the newest Brewer. Signed a big fat contract before the game, the Brewers' first round draft pick. We're going to visit with him next. This afternoon, they lead 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the third. And we're looking into the future now. Corey Ray out of Louisville. He was the Brewers' first pick, the 5th overall pick in the amateur draft a couple of weeks ago, and just signed the contract earlier today. And we are pleased to be joined now by Corey Ray. Welcome to Milwaukee, man. It's great to have you. And congratulations. It's got to be a special moment. Check out his parents back there. It's his mom, Kathy. She's watching. Corey.
Big smiles.
Proud parents. And give us your thoughts about showing up to a major league venue today as now you're a professional. What's it been like for you?
It's unbelievable. It's been an unbelievable last 2 days. It's an unbelievable experience, something I'll never forget.
Yeah, you took batting practice today. We'll kind of walk you through your day today. But draft day is something special, I would imagine. I'm still eligible for the draft. I haven't been selected just yet. But what was that like? And when you heard your name called, give us your reaction.
It was great. You know, you try not to be distracted by it during the season, but you know, there's some distraction there, and when they called my name, I was relieved because the distraction was gone, and I got to share the moment with my friends, my family, and my teammates.
Life-changing experience for you.
Yes, sir.
It's a big contract.
Yeah.
I got a lot of bills to pay now.
What do you think of Miller Park? You were down there on the field with the guys and hitting some blasts up in the dew deck. I mean, we don't see too many baseballs get hit up there, young man. You realize how far you were hitting those baseballs, right?
You don't know in BP. You know, you think you got one good, but you don't know how far it could go. And my first time hitting at this ballpark, it's beautiful. It's a wonderful ballpark. It was great because you see Chris Carter hitting balls out of the park, and you're like, uh-oh, I've got to follow that. And just to be able to get into a few in my first time in a Brewers uniform was great.
Tell us who those for. I saw your parents there. Was that your fiance?
No.
Who was that? No,
it's my sister,
Brittany. Oh, that's your sister.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And so your parents were there. We saw Ray Montgomery, the Brewers director of amateur scouting. Jeff Simpson was the scout that signed you. It's a big day for those guys as well. And Corey's from the area, so you're from Simeon High School in Chicago, and a great basketball school. You kind of turned that into a baseball school, though.
That was the goal. Not only myself, but my teammates as well. We come in 2013, and you know, everybody knows Simeon as a basketball school, and our goal was to make it a baseball school. Yeah,
Jabari Parker, right?
Yes,
you guys
sir.
were classmates.
Yep.
You
we
know
had
him?
a few classes together. Yeah, I think we may have had psychology together or something like that.
Oh, is that right? Well, you guys are going to be stars here in Milwaukee, hopefully.
I hope so.
Jabari certainly is.
Yeah. Now, Corey, you credit, you know, you're good friends with Curtis Granderson. How did you meet him, and what has he told you about the professional game?
Just from working out in Chicago over the Christmas breaks the last few years, and he just told me to always be a professional. Just worry about playing. Don't worry about everything else outside of playing, and just having fun. You know, to enjoy the moment and to work hard.
Do you have somebody that you pattern your game after? Is it Curtis Granderson
yeah, it
or
is
somebody else?
Granderson and Jacoby Ellsbury.
Those are two good names.
Yeah.
I'll go for that. There's a called strike 3. Lucroy is rung up. Braun, by the way, hit by the pitch to start the inning. And now runner at first with one out. Your interaction today, Corey, if you're just joining us, Corey Ray's with us, the Brewers' top pick, number 5 overall. What was your interaction like? Any moments you can share with some of the current Brewers, some of the big leaguers, guys that I'm sure you have looked up to and known and watched on television through the years?
Yeah, definitely. Just how nice everyone was, how welcoming they were, how in the clubhouse I felt at home. The guys definitely welcomed me, and they took me in and cracked a few jokes.
Did they initiate you a little bit? They give you a hard time?
Yeah. I had to stand in the middle of the clubhouse, and they threw questions at me. They fired away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Chris Carter gave me some about wow, another hit batter.
Yeah, you got another one. Good call, by the way. He's a play-by-play guy.
He's not ready for that. You got a long
no,
baseball
I've got
career,
to play.
Now I'm nervous about things. Goodness. So yeah, second hit batter of the inning, first and second. What Chris Carter have to say?
Because I'm watching him take BP, and every swing, the ball's leaving the park. And you know, he asked me, did I hit a few? And I said, yeah. And he goes, not every swing, though, huh? I said, no, I'm still waiting to hit puberty to get your height.
That's good. You have a nice, easy swing, a little bit like Chris. I mean, not over swing. Tell us a little bit about what do you want the folks in Milwaukee to know about Corey Ray as a baseball player?
I can play all 3 outfield spots, and I'll hit anywhere these guys want me to hit in the lineup, and do whatever it is that you need me to do to win.
Good answer.
Corey is, this is unusual for a draft pick to go into what we call high A ball, which is Brevard County, the Manatees, and that's in the Florida State League. So if you don't know the minor league structure, folks, basically single A, there's 2 single A's. There's the lower A ball, which is the Timber Rattlers in Wisconsin, and then the higher A ball in Brevard County, and that's where you're going. And so I think the fast track is on. Obviously, being a first rounder, you're already on that track. But what do you know about the Florida State League going to Brevard County? I mean, what are some of the discussions you're having right now with some of the Brewers folks?
I hear it's tough. I hear it's a pitcher's league, big ballparks, and it's hot. But good piece.
Perez down the right field line. Corey called another one. That's a fair ball. They wind him up, and it's going to bounce out for a ground rule double. Braun will score, and the Brewers keep tacking him on here against Gio Gonzalez. It's now 5-1. That's a double and an RBI for Hernan Perez.
Man, here goes Mike Maddox, and Gio Gonzalez continues to have the problems here today that he's been experiencing for a good stretch now. And you know, it's all about location for Gio Gonzalez. I mean, you have any problems with left-handers? I mean, we saw that left-handed swing. I mean, pretty good against lefties. Stay right in there.
Yeah, it's tougher than righties, but I'm definitely working on it. Just to get it a little closer to even. I'm definitely probably way more comfortable against righties, but I've gotten more comfortable against lefties as I've seen them in college, and I'm sure I'll get more comfortable as I see them in professional baseball as well.
You like hitting with wood? You like the sound of the crack of the bat?
Yeah, I love it. I'm a firm believer that if you hit the ball on the sweet part with wood, it goes further than aluminum.
There you go.
Yeah, aluminum just has a little bit more room for error, but if you hit the ball on the sweet part, it'll go with wood.
Put a button on your college career. You know, those who don't follow the college game, you guys had a great team in Louisville. You had a lot of players drafted. I think 5. Is that right? I mean, you had a number of guys.
I think we had like 6 or 7 in the top 100 picks.
Oh my gosh!
Yep.
So that was a really talented team there. As Jeanette rolls one to second, Murphy's coming home, and Carter scores. Corey Ray. He's got like this vision I've never heard before. He's seeing things happen before they happen. Man, and another run is in.
Yeah, imagine the Nationals going to take a look at that one. And Greg Gibson, the home plate umpire, looking into that dugout right away. And you can see right there, Chris, a little bit flat-footed when he starts, but to get his foot in before the tag. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, definitely. Tagged him on the thigh, tagged him up top. He got that foot in.
He saw that before Carter even slid. He said this is a run.
Yep. The front foot getting the plate. That's what the Nationals are going to look at.
The world of replay, welcome.
Yeah.
Now we get to dive into. They don't have this in the minor leagues,
no.
So you don't have to worry about that.
Unfortunately, they don't have it in college either.
Right. Yeah. Now you're going to Brevard County, and you're going Friday, right? What do you got going between now and then?
I'll go to LA for the Golden Spikes Award ceremony. I was one of the 4 finalists. That should be interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What a great career. But I was going to ask you about Louisville and just, you know, sum it up for us. What it was like for you, why you went there in the first place, your stay at Louisville. You put up some great numbers. I mean, you're thought of as one of the great players ever from that university. But what was that experience like, and what kind of legacy do you think you left there?
It was a lot of fun. I went there because it's not too far away from home, so my parents, who are baseball lovers, and my granddad could come and watch me play, but they can't just show up on me unannounced.
Another smart decision.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
One thing that Coach McDonald, he always preaches, leaving a place better than you found it. And the seniors and the older guys left me better than they found me. And, you know, a goal of mine was to just leave my mark on the program and be as successful as I can in a Louisville jersey.
Wow, that's a great testament to you and that program. And you come in with a lot of experience. It's probably the reason the Brewers are confident sending you to Single A, and hopefully you move fast through the organization. And then those dreams of playing in a big league game for the first time. And how often do you think about that, playing in a major league game? And when did that start for you, when you really started to lock into baseball as a sport of choice?
In high school, I wanted to use it as a way to get an education. And then I get to college, and I struggled a little bit as a freshman. It wasn't easy all the way. And my sophomore year, I have a pretty good year. And, you know, I start to think maybe I can get drafted. I'm hoping I could get drafted at some point. And then I have a good summer, and it's looking like I will get drafted. And the noise started in the spring of my junior year, and then I realized, you know, I've got a chance to do this, and I've got a chance to do it for a while.
Yes. That's tough to deal with sometimes. You know, I went through that when, you know, back in the old days, old days when I got drafted. But sometimes you hear a lot of stuff, and scouts come up to you. It can be kind of distracting. How are you able to handle that?
When you play at Louisville, there's a lot of competition.
Right.
The guy on the bench behind me could have gone anywhere and played, and I didn't want him to take my spot. I'm just wanting to be in the lineup every day and be a part of what I thought was a special team. Very fun year, and I owed it to my teammates to give them my all. So I couldn't be selfish and focus on the draft or focus on anything other than giving my team the best that I've got.
Corey Ray is our guest, the Brewers' top pick. He went number 5 in the country. Brewers have not drafted that high since the 2005 season. That was the year they drafted Ryan Braun, number 5. That's unfair expectations to lay that on this guy right here, but that's a high pick, and there's certainly high expectations for Corey. And you know, when I talk to people, as Broxton strikes out for the, did you just call that pitch?
Change up.
Call that a change up. Rock, this guy's like,
yeah, I know, get a little bit worried.
Something special here.
I think in about 20
this is
years,
unlike everything I've ever experienced.
about
right
20
here.
years, he can have my job. Actually,
wow.
yeah, after a good major league career. That is a good changeup, Corey.
But everybody I've talked to in the organization, you know, I think your baseball skills speak for themselves, but to a man, and we're talking executive scouts, they talk about what a great guy you are, what a great person, and the fact that you have an ability to communicate. You carry yourself like a star, like a professional already, and I'm sure that has to do with these two folks standing back here, your parents.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us a little something about these two.
Hard work.
Yeah.
Military-like. Growing up, I always joke around with my friends. I used to hate having off days from school because that mean I was cleaning the house. I had a whole row of had a whole page of chores to do when I woke up. But you know, they made me work hard. They made me get good grades in school, and they made me try my hardest in whatever it is that I did, and it definitely paid off.
Good foundation then.
Yeah.
Yep.
You could tell.
Any gifts you could share with us that, with your signing bonus for your parents or your mom or dad or anything special
I've
going on?
got something in mind, but it's a surprise.
She's right there, so we got to keep that quiet. Very good. Well, Corey Ray, hope big things from you, man. Next time we see you, we hope you're on the field.
Yes, sir.
Because you got a great future in broadcasting, but that's way down the road.
Yeah, definitely.
Great job, man.
Thank you.
Great to meet you.
Appreciate
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck, man.
Thank
All
you.
right, that's Corey Ray. He's got star written all over him, right? That was a great interview. A lot of fun.
Continue to lead the Nationals here in the top of the 4th inning, 6-1. Time now for our greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Last night's Albert Pujols hit his 573rd home run in his career to tie Harmon Killebrew for the 11th on the all-time list. San Francisco Giants are red hot, the best 40 game span since 1954. They are 31-9 over their last 40 games, and the Arizona Diamondbacks played in the longest 9-inning game in National League history, 4 hours and 30 minutes, but they did come out with the 10-9 win.
Yeah, how about that? Long night of baseball there for the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. You can play games like that in both of those venues, as a matter of fact. Yeah, the Giants, that run of winning they've had They haven't won like that since they were the New York Giants.
Yeah, right.
Going back to the '54 season at the Polo Grounds. So here we go to the 4th inning. It's 6-1 Milwaukee. The Brewers have scored in every inning thus far. That was the most impressive interview we have ever had from a first-round draft pick.
I mean,
Corey Ray is something else.
Some of the answers to some of the questions about, how did you handle all the talk about a potential draft, and just the things that he said. He just seems like a very buttoned-up young man, very respectful, and Uecker will get him laughing though.
And now he's working the radio with Bob Uecker, Jeff Levering, and he went right up to Uecker before he took his guts and BP and shook his hand. Said, "I've been listening to you."
I'll tell you what, we saw him in batting practice today, and he hit 3 balls up into that dew deck, and you don't see too many up there. I mean, big league hitters, they take BP, they try and go up there, and a nice easy stroke. You're going to see him pretty soon. Give that young man a few years, you're going to see him in a major league uniform.
Yeah, it's good to meet his folks as well. His mom Kathy, his dad Corey, they were here, proud parents, and I like what he said about his upbringing. Very militant.
Military.
Military, a lot of discipline, and that's good. A lot of structure for him. And how about him just calling plays before they even happened? He called Perez. He said it was a hit while it was in the air. He said Carter was going to be safe.
Dropped a changeup on it.
He called a changeup. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
never seen that before. It started to get a little uneasy when he's going to make people think this job's easy, which we all know it is.
No, it is, but you don't have to make it look that easy.
So yeah, Corey will be headed to the Golden Spikes Award, as he mentioned, and then next week he's going to start up in the Brewers system, and let's hope he'll be part of that minor league report, and hope he has a lot of success down in Brevard County. There is a walk to start the inning.
Yeah, not the way you want to start this inning. Yeah, Brewers with a 6th spot in the first 3 innings. You don't want to lead off walk. 3rd walk issued by Garza.
Anthony Rendon now. Brewers got 3 in the first on a Chris Carter 3-run homer. Added 1 in the second, and then just scored twice in the 3rd inning. Game 2 of this 3-game series wraps up tomorrow. It's a 1 o'clock start tomorrow, officially 1:10. We're on the air at 12:30, and then a day off Monday, scheduled day off for the Brewers, and then the Dodgers come to town. Called strike on Rendon. Well, for Garza, he's trying to maximize his pitches today. He's got 49 on the board. He's pitching here in the 4th inning. Craig Counsell did say after his last start there'd be no restraints moving forward. Garza's back in the flow. He's healthy. That lat injury that he suffered around the back of the right shoulder has fully healed. And so it's just about Garza being in the regular rhythm of the game at this point, says the manager.
Well, so far so good for him. I mean, two plus starts have been pretty successful for him. And he's been grinding through some of these innings, though. Last 2 innings have been rough, but he's only allowed the 1 run.
2-1 to count. Rendon, the batter. Foul tip right into the middle. Lucroy. 2-2. I spoke to David Stearns, the general manager, before the game. The Brewers are generally having a lot of success signing players. They're in a great position, they feel, moving forward to try to lock up a lot of those picks. 10 to 20, 10 to 25. That's the next step. Once you get the top guys signed and then you realize where you're at financially, there's a certain budget allotment of money that they have for the draft. And David was very excited to get Corey Ray signed, get him in here. The kid Urseg's off to a great start. He's already playing.
Yep.
He was the number 3 pick for the Brewers. And so all positive vibes. Runner takes off, liner into left. And Braun can't get it over his head. Zimmerman had to stop, so he'll only end up at third. That's a double now for Rendon.
And that ball had some late life on it. It looked like Braun was going to be able to get there as it got out into the gap, but just kept going, never came down. Centers on that one, actually got it down on the trademark just a little bit, but Brawny retreating back and just couldn't grab it. I'm not sure if he lost it in the sun or those glass panels above the first base grandstands. That went right over his glove.
It is the tough Sun Field at Miller Park. The setting sun is right in his eyes through those panels. And Braun sees that one sail over his head. 2 on now, second and third, nobody out. Quick trip to the mound for Derek Johnson, the pitching coach.
Yeah, that's what Braun's looking up at right there. Not easy. Coming out of the shadows into the sun. You got the sun in your eyes. Makes it difficult on a line drive. A high fly ball not so bad, but those line drives like the one Rendon just hit, a little challenging.
So here is Espinosa now with runners at second and third. Espinosa shows bunt. Tried to bunt for a hit his last time up. That's a bit of an unusual move with second and third and nobody out, down 5 runs. I don't know if that was a decoy or not, but it got the Brewers' attention defensively.
Well, it looks like Dusty Baker is going to go to the bench. You got a pinch hitter on deck already. Clint Robinson
making Gio Gonzalez start just 3 innings. It is a bunt. And to the right side, Garza's got it, underhands it to first in time for the out. So it goes as a squeeze bunt. A run is in, but Espinosa trying to test Garza.
I don't get that. I mean, nobody out. I mean, why not try and drive one? The guy's got a bunch of home runs. He's got 13 of them. Second and third, nobody out. He bunts, drives in a run. It's going to be a sacrifice and an RBI, but nice swing away.
I've seen
you're down by 5 runs.
Seen opposing hitters bunt on Garza, but typically bunts on the right side, and when he can just glove him and underhand him, he doesn't have trouble with those. So he's got the first man out, got a runner at third now. And here is Clint Robinson, and he swings at the first pitch. Perez coming in, got a strong arm, makes the catch. Throw to the plate, one hop, the tag, and he's safe at home.
Now they'll look at it. Greg Gibson right on top of it. He was right the last time. And when Chris Carter slid in safely, I think Lucroy probably realizing he's probably safe. That's a pretty good throw by Hernan Perez. Check it out. That's an infielder's arm. Something on it, right on the money. And it looked like a high tag. You're not allowed to block home plate. Well, it looks like the Brewers are not going to challenge it. Look at the front foot. Hits the bag, hits the plate before Lucroy drops the tag. And he's blocking off home plate to boot. You know,
I think that was going to be a safe all the way around. And as a matter of fact, home plate umpire Greg Gibson just called that out. He hollered over to the Brewers bench. That play's over. That run scores. Umpires can make the determination that he's blocking home plate, and you can go to review for that, but you don't have to.
But that was obvious.
So 2 runs are in. 6-3 Milwaukee.
Old habits die hard for some guys, and Lucroy's been flirting with that all season long, keeping that front foot in there and blocking off home plate. He's done it a couple of times. And
Well, it forces you into two positions, and you can speak to this best, but if you stand in front and you want to be in an athletic position with wide stance in front of home plate, that means you're going to have to swipe tag. Right. And if you stand there with your feet closer together, that doesn't to go down and make a tag, then you're not in a great position to catch the ball anyway. Revere grounds out, and the inning is over, but the Nats get a couple of runs. 6-3 Brewers. We're on our way to the bottom of the fourth inning at Miller Park. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. 1-800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business.
Hey, this Tuesday night through Thursday afternoon, the Dodgers come to Milwaukee for a weekend showdown with the Brew Crew. Reserve your seats today at Brewers.com.
The Dodgers, the last opponent for the Washington Nationals. And the last opponent for Yusmeiro Petit, who's now in the game. Gonzalez goes 3 innings. And Petit has not pitched since Monday. And that was an emergency start that day for Steven Strasburg.
And did a pretty good job, too. 6 innings, 3 runs. He actually faced Clayton Kershaw that night. So back in the bullpen and picking up Gio Gonzalez, who has continued to struggle. 6 runs in 3 innings.
On 6 hits. The Nats just got 2 back. RBIs from Espinoza and Clint Robinson. Scoring runs on outs that last inning. A sac bunt, squeeze bunt. And then Robinson had a sac fly. VR the top of the order. 2 for 2 today. Jonathan back around on the left side with the right-hander on the mound. The switch hitter. As a left-handed batter, VR a .282 hitter. So his first 2 hits today were as a right-handed batter against Gonzalez. And he's now hitting .333 off the right side. Overall batting average at .297. Strasburg is due back on the mound Sunday. So apparently the story is that he had a couple of displaced ribs and he couldn't start that game on Monday. He's trying to muscle his way through it, and they pulled the plug, and Petit got the emergency spot start against Kershaw on Monday. As VR drives one into right center, that's down. And it And will roll to the track. VR on his way to second with a double. Third hit of the game for Jonathan VR. And it's a leadoff double in the 4th inning.
A lot of offense in this game today. And a changeup, it looked like, from Petit. And VR able to center on it, stayed back nicely on it, and ripped it into the gap. And by the time Harper picks it up, VR cruises on into second with a double. And the Brewers have been able to put their leadoff hitter on in every inning but one, the second. And in every inning they've done so far, they've been able to score.
VR continues to rack up the doubles. You see Aaron Hill's night or day today at the plate, presented by Wendy's. 2 hits. Hill's last base hit looked like it had a chance to score a run. VR was at second base, but that was a play with Jason Worth threw out VR at home plate to end the inning. That was back in the second. Brewers have scored in every frame so far today. And Hill trying to bunt him over. We've seen more bunting in this game than I can remember all season.
That guy's trying to bunt for a base hit. You know, Hill's up there trying to get VR to third base for Ryan Braun best he can. Those add-on runs, very important. The Brewers did a good job of that in the 3rd inning.
Slices one foul. RBI opportunity for Aaron Hill. VR with good speed at second. 2-2 the count. As you've already seen, Worth has a very accurate throwing arm, above average arm. Bryce Harper in right field has a cannon, one of the better arms in the league. So good, in fact, that it moved Worth from right field to left field. Although Harper has played a lot of center field in his career.
And left. Play anywhere.
2-2 to Aaron Hill. Chopper to second. That'll do the job. Hill gets a runner over.
That's a good at bat. I mean, it doesn't look good. You know, you sit there and you see a little bit of a dribbler out there to second base, but his job in that at bat was to advance VR to third base, and he got the job done. So high fives in that dugout. That's what I keep talking about with Aaron Hill. He just always seems to get the job done, whatever that job might be. Whether it be defense, you know, a base running play, advancing base runners.
Having a chat here with Pat Murphy, the Brewers bench coach.
Just a good quality major league player, Aaron Hill. He's had a terrific career.
Well, he has perfectly set up Ryan Braun now. Infield in. Braun fouls off the first pitch. Those are winning plays that may or may not cash in, and it certainly doesn't show up in the box score. On paper, it looks like a 4-3 ground out for Hill, but all through that dugout, those players know
he gave himself up.
It's a
what
quality
he did.
at bat.
Gave himself up, basically.
Puts some pressure on the defense.
For the good of the team.
Braun trying to hit one the other way, it looks like. He's down 0-2 now.
It's one thing to drop down a bunt, and you don't have it at bat. It's a sacrifice bunt, no official time at bat. When you give yourself up like that, Aaron Hill did that, I mean, that resonates through that dugout. If he can do it, then I should do it.
No balls, 2 strikes on Braun. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Well, you don't see Braun miss RBI opportunities like that very often.
And that was right down the middle, pulled the string on it. I think it was a slider, but it was only 78 miles an hour. Maybe, you know, a curveball that didn't do a whole lot except for, you know, the speed fooled Brawny. It was way out in front on it. Got the strikeout.
That's what he needed. And he gets a big bat. Braun having an all-star season this season. But down he goes, and here comes Lucroy, who has struck out twice. Both of those against Gonzalez on a day when the Brewers are racking up the hits. Lucroy is 0 for 2. Runner at third, 2 outs. 6-3 Brewers lead the Nationals.
They mentioned that Luke's been much better against right-handed pitching this year as opposed to left. Hitting .324 against right-handers. Some guys feel as though they stay in there, they stay close a little bit better against right-handers than lefties. Sometimes you pull off against the lefties. Luke hitting .224 coming into the game against lefties.
Just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I always like Greg Gibson when he's umpiring home plate, because he barks out not just the fact that it's a ball, but why it's a ball. Ball low, ball out. I don't know if you can
only on the close ones
pick it up at home. Yeah, those are easy. You know, that was
only
that's
on
a ball.
the close ones. Yep.
So if you're a hitter, and you know a lot of hitters, a pitch will go by and they'll say, "Where was that?" Well, that was low, Jonathan. That was out.
You think he ever says, you know, no, oh, I missed it.
I just said it. He says, I just said it. Did you hear me? 2-2 the count. Lucroy in the air, shallow right. Harper is coming in, and this is going to end the inning. And the Brewers come up empty. Their first scoreless inning of the day. Yusmeiro Petit puts up a 0. Milwaukee out in front. The division leading Nationals And hey, a reminder here, your best bat flip could be your ticket to the MLB All-Star Game in San Diego. Post a video of your bat flip at Fox Sports with hashtag Fox Bat Flip Contest now through June 26th. Visit foxsports.com/bat flip contest for more information. That, by the way, June 26th is tomorrow. So not pen flip.
I'm working on it.
Bat flip.
I'm working on it. Little spin.
When you say something really good, is that what you do? You flip your pen?
When I, guess a pitch and I nail it, yep, I flip the pen.
Jason Worth leading all four of the Nats.
You don't think the other broadcaster would get mad at me, though?
How would a broadcaster retaliate for something like that? Say bad things about you?
Throw a pen at me? I don't know.
Garza back to work, trying to put up a 0 here in this 5th inning. Nats scored on him in the 2nd. Got an RBI from Wilson Ramos and then added 2 in the 4th. Worth lines one left field, hit well. That's down into the corner, off the wall it goes, and Worth on his way to second with a double. Lead-off double, and the Nationals keep at it.
See what happened? I flipped my pen and I broke it. Broke the tip right off of it. See what happens when you do that? You try and showboat.
There's some hazards.
Just hope Corey Ray doesn't start flipping bats. He doesn't look like a guy that's going to do that.
Just drop the bat and watch it fly, right?
Like you've done it before. Need a new pen now.
It was Bryce Harper who coined the phrase "make baseball fun again." As it grounds one, foul, pass first. Bryce Harper, 23 years of age, starting to stack up some pretty impressive numbers. This is a who's who of Major League Baseball. Look at these names on this list. So the parameters are where Harper is right now: 112 home runs, 291 RBIs, and only those 7 have had bigger numbers at an earlier age or by this age. Just incredible statistics to start a career.
Yep.
Harper out in front of that one, a pop-up a mile high, and VR is going to make the call and the catch for the first out.
Just a little bit behind the fastball was Bryce Harper on that pitch. I don't think Matt Garza's going to want to live up there too much against Harper. Look at it, right down the middle, and he missed it. Right up the chute.
It's a humbling game, even for great talents like Harper. Well, here's the hottest bat in the lineup right now, Daniel Murphy. And a wave and a miss. Garza dropped a curveball on him. Murphy and Ramos have done big damage in this series. They are now combined 9 for 13. Murphy's 2 for 2 today, a triple and a single.
Up to 354.
Ramos is 1 for 2, drove in a run. In the air, center field, hit well. Broxton turns, runs, and he's got it. Good play. Relatively new to Miller Park. Keon Broxton played that one like he's been here a while.
Yep, ran out of the shadows into the sun and able to make the catch on the warning track. And you see him way back there in center, turns himself around a little bit, but able to make the catch as he strides onto the warning track. Never takes his eye off of it once he picks it up.
Gliding to make that catch. So 2 outs. Murphy retired for the first time, and here's Wilson Ramos. On the ground, Hill, tough hop, makes the play, and the throw to first in time to end the inning. So Garza puts up a 0. Needed that quick inning. Got a lead. We go to the bottom of the 5th.
Miller Park, Brewers with a 6-3 lead over the Washington Nationals as we celebrate the 11th annual tribute to the Negro Leagues. And I'm pleased to be joined by 3 former Negro Leaguers. I'll start off here to my right is Ray Knox, who started playing for the Chicago American Giants. No, that's you. I'm sorry. This is Mr. William McCrary. Switched up the order. My bad. This is Mr. William McCrary. He grew up in Beloit and played with Satchel Paige with the Kansas City Monarchs in 1946 and 47. The oldest living Negro leaguer is Mr. Roosevelt Jackson. And he went on to play for 4 Florida-based teams and became a Philadelphia Phillies scout after his playing career. And now Mr. Ray Knox, who started playing for the Chicago American Giants in 1949 and was the youngest Negro leaguer to ever sign at the age of 17. And Mr. McCrary, we'll start off with you. You're a Wisconsin guy, grew up in Beloit, playing with Satchel Paige. How was that?
Well, I tell you, you'd have to be around Satchel Paige to know it. He was quite a man. He all joked a lot, but yet still he tended to business.
And Mr. Roosevelt Jackson, once again, you played for 4 Florida-based teams during your playing career, and you are now the oldest living member of the Negro Leagues. And when you think about that and everything that you guys had to endure back then, how good is it to see the game and everything progress the way it has?
Well, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's just like you go on cook Christmas dinner with the table full of cakes and pies, so you don't know which one to cut.
And once again, Mr. Ray Knox, you were the youngest to ever play in the Negro Leagues at 17. Where most of us are still in high school, you're playing professional baseball. How was that?
It was good. It was good. But I played before then, before I got in the Negro League. And I was playing, traveling with teams that their name wasn't in with the Negro League. I started playing catching when I was 15 and 16. I was traveling with some of the best teams that you ever seen. Yeah, I was a catcher. And I could catch it.
Just like our own Bill Schroeder. I know he'll love to hear that. Mr. Knox, Mr. Jackson, Mr. McCrary, we really appreciate your time, and it's so good for you guys to be here, and it's an honor to pay tribute to the Negro Leagues.
Good to be here. Appreciate it, yeah.
All right, B.A., let's send it back up to you.
All right, Taylor, good work down there, man. It's great to honor those guys and what they stand for, what the league that they participated in. It's one of the great leagues, one of the great success stories, business stories in the history of sports. The Negro Leagues that basically came to an end in 48. Color barrier was broken in 47. Jackie Robinson and then Larry Doby, and then 48 the league was essentially over. It hung around for a couple more years after that, but the breaking of the color barrier was a significant moment in American history, certainly sports history, but it did mean the end of a league that helped put this great game of baseball on the map.
Man, it's great that Major League Baseball honors those guys and honors the Negro League legacy, and just about every team does it.
The Homestead Grays and the Milwaukee Bears uniforms on display here today. Brewers lead by 3. We go to the 6th.
6-3 Brewers as we head to the 6th inning, and I got a great read here, B.A. Check this one out. To celebrate the release of the new movie, the Brewers are hosting Ghostbusters Day at Miller Park on Saturday, July 9th, as the crew looks to exterminate the St. Louis Cardinals. Get your limited edition Brewers Ghostbusters bobblehead by reserving your spot at brewers.com/theme nights.
Well, they're kind of cool. Ghostbusters is all the rage now. Check it out. It fits perfectly on your mantle. It's a day for bobbleheads today.
See right there, it says exterminate.
Oh, that. Oh, I thought you just made that up yourself.
No. I do not condone the word exterminate the Cardinals, but
you kind of
maybe beat the Cardinals that day.
And that's how we make the sausage. We write things down for Rock to read, which is very important. All these heads bobble, by the way, on the Ghostbusters bobble. It's a tight little bobble, but it does bobble.
Exterminate the Cardinals.
There's a base hit to right. Another leadoff hitter reaches for the Nationals. Garza's given up a bunch of those today. He has leadoff hitters reach base the last 3 innings and 4 times today in his 6 innings pitched. So he's been in the stretch a lot.
Yeah. Well, walked the tightrope in last inning. Leadoff double. He stranded Worth at third base.
Here's Anthony Rendon. And he shoots one into left center, a base hit. Zimmerman's on his way to third. And the Nationals are at it once again. They're going to bring the tying run to the plate. Nobody out. 2 on in the 6th inning.
Yeah, there is activity down in that Brewers bullpen, and I'm probably thinking that the end is near for Matt Garza. Carlos Torres getting loose. Garza's pitch count's in pretty good shape. I mean, 71 pitches. So it's not a pitch count issue. He just needs to do a better job with the command in this inning for sure.
So a couple of pitches by inning for Garza.
A couple of single-digit pitch count innings.
Here's Espinosa now. He's walked and he dropped down a squeeze bunt. Scored a sacrifice, so no official at bat today, and he grounds one foul. Both at bats he has showed bunt and executed the bunt the second time up. I think he was trying to bunt for a hit on both occasions. Ends up driving in a run on the squeeze bunt in the 4th inning. Safety squeeze.
Yeah, and down by 5 runs with 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. Interesting decision, but Nationals did end up scoring 2 runs in that inning.
And that one is in the air to right field. Hit well. Perez on the run, and Perez makes the catch. Terrific play. A run's going to score on a sacrifice fly, but Perez able to run that one down.
Yeah, that was a nice play. Not easy, even for an experienced outfielder, and able to disappear into that corner and make the catch, and got it back into the infield very quickly.
Yeah, fair ball all the way.
It's a pretty good throwing arm. I mean, he flat-footed basically and one hopped it right to second base.
He's got that card in his glove. Positioning, keeps it in his pocket. All laid out for him by Ed Cedar, outfield coach in charge of aligning his 3 outfielders, and he's hard at work between every pitch. Chris Heisey's the batter. He's pinch hitting. Second player used off the bench for Dusty Baker. Heisey, as a pinch hitter, is 4 for 20, but he's hit 3 homers. 3 of his 4 hits have been home runs. And for his career, he has 14 pinch hit home runs. That's going to keep you employed a long time.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Garza spins a curveball in there for strike 2. Heisey, a longtime Red, Cincinnati Red. Brewers familiar with him, certainly.
Yeah, Dodgers last year for a little while.
One man out. Garza has a run in, and he bounces one. Lucroy took it right in the gut. No problem.
Perfect job blocking that one. That slider down in the dirt. Look at the technique. That is perfect. Not easy to block a pitch that's in front of home plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That's got another run in. Danny Espinosa has 2 RBIs today. He has not registered an official at bat. Sack bunt for a run, squeeze, and then a sack fly for a run. Heisey in the air. Should be playable. Long run for Jeanette, and good catch by a fan reaching out. We'd rather you stay inside the rails, though, next time. But because of the hat shirt combo.
Well, he knew nobody was going to be able to catch it. Scooter wasn't going to be able to make a play, and I think Scooter acknowledges a good play when he sees one.
That's got to be a Jimmy Buffett fan right there. If
Yeah,
I
I
ever
like
saw
the
one.
hat. That's a nice hat. I don't know about the shirt, but the hat's very nice.
I think the fact that he unbuttoned the shirt down to the navel makes it okay. 1-2 the count. And a ball down and out. Could be a holdover from the Kenny Chesney concert.
Yeah, is that what you look like on off days?
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, just keep it unbuttoned. You want bear? Sure. But the glove complements the outfit perfectly. That's a little flare. Jeanette going back, going over the shoulder. He's got it. Spins and throws late. Jeanette has really stepped up his game in this category. He's made a number of plays just like this season.
Yeah, looking up into the sun. I mean, as he goes back, he's got to look over his shoulder and looking right into that sun. He doesn't have any glasses on. And able to haul it in, a 2-hand catch, a basket catch. There you go. Grab that baseball on top once it hits the glove.
There's an art to it. And as Vin Scully said, Scooter Jeanette did just that. Scooted right after him. He made a catch very similar at Dodger Stadium. 2 outs in the inning now. Here is Revere, top of the order, drops a bunt, easy for Lucroy, and that will retire the side. So the Nats get a run. Garza minimizes the damage after 2 hits to start the inning. Brewers up 2.
6-4 lead over the Nats. Time to check in with the crew in the community. The second round of Brewers Community Foundation's Drive for Charity is going on this weekend at Miller Park. Fans are invited to bring a contribution of $5 or a full-size toiletry item to the ballpark this weekend to support the local community. And in exchange, we'll receive a one-of-a-kind pen featuring Brewers pitcher Jeremy Jeffers. BA?
All right, Telly, thanks. Good work in the community, led by Cecilia Gore and Katina Shaw here in the Brewers office. Matt Belisle is the new pitcher, Rock. We saw him last night, and Belisle is on here in the 6th inning. Keon Broxton will lead off.
Yeah, spent some time on the disabled list. Came off the DL on June 14th. You can see his numbers so far this year. Another guy that spent some time with the Reds.
Brewers had a 6-1 lead today. Nationals have been chipping away at it. Got a run in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, added 1 in the top of this inning. Chopper out to short. Espinoza fires a bullet over to first.
Needed to.
Keon Broxton can really run, and Espinoza makes the play for out number 1. Got to give Yusmeiro Petit some credit. He came in and bridged the gap. Gio Gonzalez giving up all 6 runs in 3 innings. And Petit working 2 scoreless. Alex Presley's going to pinch hit for Garza. So Matt is out. Closed the book. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 1. And Presley is first off the bench today.
Well, it was a struggle for Garza today, but he leaves with the lead, a 6-4 lead. Able to minimize the damage on a number of occasions, and Will Smith up again in that Brewers bullpen. We saw him last night. You check out that White Sox game today.
What do you got?
Toronto beat the White Sox 10-8. White Sox hit 7 homers. And lost. Oh my. How do you feel about that, Rock? I think that's unfortunate. Kind of a bummer to hit that many homers and lose.
What a waste. I can't get a grasp on the White Sox right now. They had a great start to the year.
Yeah. And
right now they're under 500 with that loss today. So they dropped to 37-38. I was kind of thinking it was going to be a Chicago story in both leagues.
Started out that way, right?
Yeah, first month of the season.
Yeah.
Cubs are still going along fine. 48-24 is their record. They have the best winning percentage in the big leagues. They're tied for the most wins with the Giants. Giants have played 3 more games than the Cubs. Cubs are up 10 games over the Cardinals in the Central and 14 up on the Pirates. The Brewers are 15.5 back, which means the Brewers start play today only a game and a half behind the Pirates, 5.5 behind the Redbirds.
And they can thank their pretty good home record for that. 20 wins already this year at home. Bringing our broadcast open full circle.
Full count to Presley.
Isn't that what they told us to do in the seminar?
That's called a payoff. That's what that was. Now that you're a proud member of the media.
So you're not going to bait me today. I'm in a good mood today. You can't get me going.
When do I ever do that?
Oh, always. It's good sport, though.
Full count and a call at strike 3. Presley is down on strikes. 2 outs in the inning. First strikeout for Belisle.
It's Kate's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday to Kate Schroeder.
Yep.
The very patient wife of Bill Schroeder.
Patiently waiting for this game to end so we can go to dinner.
Well, you might be looking at a midnight snack. Yeah, the way we're going along
she's
today.
prepared. It's happened before. Happy birthday, babe.
What'd you get her?
Oh, I can't say. I mean, that's kind of private. Something nice.
Better be. Came home with a whole pocket full of per diem. It better be something nice.
Yeah, and a suitcase full of dirty clothes. Unless you might be plowing through that right now. As I told you, the suitcase is not allowed in the house.
Oh, really?
After a road trip.
I get it.
It's got to be emptied in the garage.
That makes sense. I can understand where Kate's coming from. There's a ground ball by VR. And this is going to be a 3-up, 3-down inning for Belisle. So we go to the 7th now. 6-4. Brewers are hanging on. The 7th inning, Bryce Harper due up. He'll follow Jason Worth. Back to our Carsoup.com trivia, looking for the 3 Nationals coaches who also coached on the Brewers staff at the Major League level. You know Mike Maddox is there. Well, Davey Lopes and Chris Spire, all part of Dusty Baker's ensemble. Davey Lopes, the first base coach. Great base stealer in his day.
Managed the Brewers for, what, a year and a half? 2.5 years.
Spire and Lopes were together. Maddox, the pitching coach, 03 to 08. He was part of that wild card team in 2008. That snapped a 26-year drought. And of course, Maddox was here for the CC Sabathia era of Brewers baseball. We're in the Will Smith era of Brewers relief right now. It feels like he pitches in just about every game, and he's on the mound to try to shut down this powerhouse lineup, starting with Worth.
Yeah, and ordinarily he's got, you know, he gets through his innings rather quickly. I mean, pitch counts are low, so able to use them quite a bit. And he pitched last night, tossed a 3-up, 3-down inning, a 3-up, 3-down 7th.
Flips a curveball in there for a strike on Worth. Got 2 lefties coming up, Harper to follow, and then Daniel Murphy. Bullpen was terrific last night. Had to pick up the final 4 innings. And barring extra innings, they'll be responsible for the last 3 today. Garza goes 6, gives up 4 runs. He's in line for the win. Worth doubled his last time up. Pulled one down the left field line off Garza. 7 hits for Washington. Same for the Brewers. Brewers lead by 2. And Smith misses again. 3-1 now. 3 straight fastballs he's missed out there.
Well, Craig Counsell using the team off days. They've got 3 of them in a week. They got another one coming up on Monday, so using Smith as much as he can. And I guess that's your burden when you're the only left-hander in the bullpen.
Well, that's not how you want to start it. A leadoff walk. And again, the Nationals have their lead runner aboard. It's the 4th consecutive inning. It's the 5th time today they've had their leadoff man on. And on 3 of those 5 occasions, they have scored.
This is a very difficult lineup to get through. I mean, from top to bottom. And the toughest part of this lineup is coming up.
Bryce Harper with a man on, representing the tying run. Harper today is 0 for 2 with a walk. He buckled his knees with a breaking ball. Harper against left-handed pitching this year is hitting .236. Does have 3 homers. He faces a lot of lefties, especially late game matchup left-handers.
Brewers have had some success in this series so far coming inside on him. And so Will Smith just missed a little bit in off the plate.
And Harper out in front, pops it up, playable. Lucroy's there. And a big out to get for Will Smith. He had him bailing on a breaking ball, and Harper is the first out.
And the second time he's popped up. Well, he started him out with a curve. He kind of buckled his knees on the first curveball, able to catch the inner half of the plate just at the top of the zone. Missed with a fastball and got him on a pop-up on pitch 3, so a relatively quick out on a slider that really didn't do a whole lot. That pitch was supposed to be away, ended up and in, and Harper foul out to Lucroy.
So 1 gone. Here's Murphy now, runner at first. Murphy with 2 hits. The National League's leading hitter, Daniel Murphy's hitting .353. He has 31 multi-hit games with his 2 hits today. That is the most in the National League. And he slaps that one into left field, a base hit. It's another level right now he's at.
It's crazy. I mean, he's hitting over 300 against left-handers. 305 before that at bat. Just locked in.
3 hits today, 3 for 4.
Curveball that time, and watch what he does. He doesn't overswing, just tries to level on it, get on top of the baseball, and dumps it into left field. You talk about a solid foundation with the legs. I mean, barely moves.
And so with the left-handers coming to an end, Will Smith, his day is over. Gets 1 man out. He'll leave with 2 on. Nationals threatening here. Carlos Torres coming in. We'll take a timeout. brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. On a sunny Saturday afternoon, late afternoon in Milwaukee, and the Brewers and the Nationals hooked up in another good one. The Brewers led this game 6-1 at one point, but now the Nats are within 2 and they are threatening. So counsel goes to Carlos Torres out of his bullpen.
Yeah, another guy that came into the game yesterday. He came into the 6th inning and had a 3-up 3-down inning, included a couple of strikeouts. Has been very good against right-handed batters. A 208 opponent batting average.
In desperate need of a ground ball here with Wilson Ramos at the plate. As good as Daniel Murphy's been this year, Ramos is right on his heels. 1 for 3. He's hitting .341. Ramos is currently 3rd in the All-Star voting for National League catchers. But he leads in a lot of the major categories. He leads all of Major League Baseball as far as catchers go in RBIs, on-base percentage, slugging, and the fewest Ks. And he's the National League leader among catchers in homers. It's been a monster year for him. And just a comparison with Ramos and Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy has been one of the great offensive catchers until his down season last year. These numbers are numbers produced while catching.
Yeah.
And you could see why this is a great matchup.
Well, the numbers the Brewers are interested in with Ramos is he's grounded into 6 double plays this year. That's what we're looking at. All the good numbers, we're looking at the double plays here.
2 on, 1 out. Brewers up 2. And a line drive to center, a base hit. Worth had to freeze on the line drive, so he has to stop. And Ramos is at it again. He and Murphy just can't get him out right now.
No, it's crazy. And everything they're hitting is hard. I mean, we're not talking about cheap hits. No bloopers and flares. I mean, everything's been barreled up for the most part, including this one here. Curveball. This guy stays back on a curveball as well as anybody we've seen. I mean, he stays back well. He's on good balance, and he has a good swing and a good approach. And if you make a mistake with that curveball, he's going to hit it hard.
2 players responsible for 11 hits in 2 games in the series. Murphy and Ramos. Bases loaded for Zimmerman. Dangerous spot to be.
And he's grounded into 8 double plays.
Zimmerman has singled and scored. He's walked and scored. Reached on a fielder's choice. 2-0. This inning is not trending well for Torres and the Brewers right now. They need a break.
Man, Lucroy is going to go out. He saw something and deliver it to Torres. It looked like he's getting under the baseball a little bit, leaving it upstairs.
What's the signal for a double play ball?
Keep the ball down. Good guy to double up.
He's got 5 career grand slams and has had 9 at bats with the bases loaded this year. He's hitless. In the air, center field, hit well. Broxton will make a play, but a run's going to score. And the throw comes into second base. Worth is in. Sacrifice fly for Ryan Zimmerman, and the Nationals are within a run, but 2 men are out now in the 7th.
The Nationals have really done a good job in those situations. Man at third base, less than 2 outs. That's the 3rd sacrifice fly that they've hit tonight or today, and they also had a sacrifice bunt that scored a run. So 4 RBIs on outs for the Nationals here today.
So the Nationals chipping away. They've scored 4 unanswered. Brewers led 6-1. And now the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at first. Play in the top of the 7th inning. Anthony Rendon, the batter, and Torres deals him a strike, a high strike.
Yeah, Brewers fortunate that Zimmerman got under that baseball a little bit. That might have been a 4-pointer. Hit that one hard.
Oh, and 2 the count. Dusty Baker has seen his team lose 6 straight games, yet still in first place. They're 3 up on the New York Mets starting play today. Close. But as you heard Greg Gibson say, ball out. And it was.
That was a strike last night. And that's what Luke Roy's turning around saying. Ed Hickox was ringing that one up all night.
1-2 and a check on the runner. Nats decked out in their Homestead Grays uniforms. Negro League Tribute Day. And if you're asking the question, if you thought the Homestead Grays were a Pittsburgh team, that would be true also. They actually shared cities, the Homestead Grays. They played half their schedule in DC and the other half in Pittsburgh. So they both claim the Homestead Grays as their Negro League team. 1-2 pitch. Ooh, just missed. Didn't get him to chase. 2-2 now.
But the good thing is he's missing down in the zone. That's where he needs to be. When he first came in, he was leaving pitches upstairs, and the Nationals are getting some pretty good swings. But get him down there, you're going to be all right.
Tying run at third. 2-2 the count. Out of play. Seventh pitch of the at-bat. Rendon at the plate with 2 hits and a chopper foul. He's hanging in there. Torres can't shake him. Nationals have out-hit the Brewers 9-7.
And Torres relying on the fastball as of late. He's really having a difficult time commanding the cutter and putting it where he wants to. Doesn't want to make a mistake with it. There it is.
A shot right at Jeanette. He got it on a hop, throw to first in time. Fortunate. Brewers clinging to a lead. Nats score another run, but the Brewers still lead by 1. Courtesy of Toyota, and the Brewers got it started with a bang here on our Negro League Throwback Day. Chris Carter, a 3-run first-inning homer. And then Jonathan Villar with a 2-out, 2-strike RBI single that added to the Milwaukee lead. Hernan Perez with a double down the right field line. That plated Ryan Braun. Brewers would add one more in that 3rd inning, but they have not scored since, and the Nationals have been chipping away. Brewers, after 3 innings, led 6-1. Now it's 6-5 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Aaron Hill at the plate for Milwaukee.
Yeah, we need Corey Ray back up here.
Yeah, the Brewers' first pick overall in the recent draft, number 5 in MLB. He was a visitor today. He was impressive.
Yeah.
He offered some very good play-by-play and analysis here in the booth. He was calling plays before they were even happening correctly. We don't even call them correctly when they do happen.
When we see them, right?
Matt Belisle back out there. His 2nd inning. It's pretty impressive what the Nationals have been able to do today. They were down 6-1. Their starters out of the game, but their bullpen has been able to keep the Brewers at 6. 3 scoreless innings on the board for the Washington pen.
And the bullpen has faced 1 over the minimum. That's how good they've been.
1-2 to Aaron Hill. And a foul tip.
They say
it can't. Yeah, they're looking, and you can't review this, but they're asking for help, and the call from the base umpire is an out.
If it hits the glove and pops out, and you catch it with a glove with a bare hand, it's an out. But if it hits part of your equipment, it can do that as long as it hits the glove first. If it hits the equipment first, it's a dead ball. And he was right. They got it right. As long as it hits the glove first.
That was the first base umpire, Mike Easterbrook, who made the call. And that's how you have to do it on foul tips. You have to ask for help. It has to come from the field. You can't take that to a review. Ryan Braun on the first pitch, little dribbler foul. I don't know if I agree with that, by the way, the foul tip, because I think that rule, you know, when you're thinking about cameras and what cameras can pick up or not, there are certain replay speeds, camera speeds where you can't, but we have the technology now where you can, on some super slow-mo replays, you could see a foul tip. I think that's what they're waiting on. That replay there, it'd be impossible to see a foul tip or not. You could certainly see the play bounce off Ramos, and he made the catch. That might be one they take a look at down the road as we get more and more advanced technology, because the replay speeds we're at now, you can clearly see a foul tip. Let's have another replay.
What else do you want to have reviewed?
1 ball, 1 strike. And Braun takes a ball.
Yeah, well, interference is not reviewable. Running out of the baseline, things like that. I mean, a lot of I guess they have to pick and choose what they want to be able to review, right? You can't really look at everything.
On the ground, Braun shoots one through, a base hit. So Ryan Braun delivers a single, first hit against Belisle.
Yep, got a pitch down in the strike zone, dropped the head of the bat on it, his best contact of the day.
And Braun's 1 for 3. Here comes Lucroy. Powerball home run leaderboard. Carter hit number 19 earlier today in the first inning. He is 3rd in the league, 2 off the top mark. You got Braun with 12. Lucroy's hit 10. Aaron Hill and Scooter Gennett have hit 7 apiece. Brewers could use some insurance. Only up a run. Lucroy batting with one away. Jonathan is 0 for 3 today. Hitless in the series. After his sabbatical from catching duties on the last road trip. 3 games and 5 consecutive days without catching in a game. He was the designated hitter in 2 games.
And just trying to give him some rest going, for the stretch going into the All-Star break. Because the Brewers have some tough opponents coming up. You want Lucroy behind home plate and getting his regular at-bats. You're going to need him in there.
Council giving Braun a day off yesterday. Gave VR the front end of a team off day off in Oakland. Those are the 3 he's most concerned about. Lucroy in the air to left. High fly ball. Word is under it. And that is out number 2. Braun tags but stops. And Lucroy is gone. F7.
Hey, that brings us to tonight's Tavern of the Game winner. Today's Tavern of the Game winner, I should say. Duke's Brew Pub and Ale House in Dodgeville. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Dodgeville.
What do you got on Dodgeville? Anything fun?
We got a nice brew house there.
Is it called Duke's?
No.
Here's Chris Carter.
Yeah, it is. I forgot already. Duke's Brew Pub and Ale House.
I knew you'd come around.
Man. Duke's.
Carter's hit 19 homers, 14 at Miller Park. 21 leads the league right now. Nolan Arenado of the Colorado Rockies. And a new name on the scene in Major League Baseball, Adam Duvall of the Reds. A home run derby candidate potentially. Duvall and Arenado with 21. You got Carter with 19, and then Cespedes, Trevor Story, and Chris Bryant 18 home runs. There's strike 2 on Carter. Carter's put up some pretty lofty home run totals in his career. His career best was 37. 2014 with the Astros. And that gets by Ramos. That's a big one. Braun will go to second. The throw comes in, hits him. So Ryan Braun advances on a wild pitch, and now a base hit. Could play to run.
Yeah, not quite sure why Ramos felt like he wanted to throw that baseball. That ball gets by him. It wasn't that bad of a pitch. It was in the dirt. He really didn't do much to block it and hit Braun as he gets to second base.
Yeah, Braun's wondering how he got to the ball so fast, but it had that ricochet off the backstop.
That carom.
Sunglasses on. Worth is in a reflection window out in left field. 2-2 the count. Carter into right field, a base hit. And Braun's going to go. Here comes the throw from Harper. One hop, and Braun is out. 2 have been thrown out at the plate. Worth got one, and now Harper gets one. And a rocket to get him. Harper, one of the great arms in the league. That had some hair on it, and Braun is an easy out. 6-5. Brewers lead by a run.
That's pretty close. Craig Counsell's taking a close look at that one.
Yeah, they've held the hand up. It might be worth taking a look at. And Counsell's going to ask for a challenge. Might as well.
Why not, right?
So before we can go to break, let's finish off this play. The crew chief will come over, Dana DeMuth, and the calling umpire, Greg Gibson.
It is very close. I'm not sure there's enough to overturn it, but look how much the ball beats Braun. Now watch the tag. If the front foot gets the plate, which it does not, I don't think. The front foot is up in the air. The back foot, the back leg, watch the front foot. It's going to hit the ground, come up. That never touches the plate. And now the question is, does the back foot touch the plate before Ramos makes the tag? It's going to be interesting.
Ooh, that is close. This is the other one that it is impossible to touch home plate when you slide. If you're sliding like that, the foot's always going to come up. And this is back to our conversation we had about just running right through home plate. It creates a much more difficult tag.
And Braun was the guy that was talking about it first, right?
He was the first player that I've actually had a conversation with about that. He said, you know, I think I may start running through the base, start running through home plate now, because if you slide, you run the risk of injury. If you run through, you're running at such a speed anyway, it makes a really difficult tag and hard to hang on to a baseball with a catcher's mitt. But
and plus, when you slide like that, and you know the home plate is basically at the level of the ground. I mean, you have to really dig your foot in to touch the plate.
It's close. It's about the back foot. They've got the headsets off, and the call's coming, and the call is out. So not enough evidence to overturn that, I'm guessing. Harper picks up an outfield assist. And the call on the field is confirmed as we go to the 8th one-run game at Miller Park. Nationals coming up.
Here at Miller Park, top 8, and time is running out to help select the starters for the 2016 All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. Go to Brewers.com/vote and fill out your Esurance All-Star Game ballot full of Brewers to send your hometown stars to San Diego for the Midsummer Classic this July.
Lucroy, All-Star starter behind the plate 2 years ago. Eighth inning, Brewers 6 outs away from winning back-to-back games. But the hard-hitting Nationals have been chipping away at a 6-1 deficit. Now 6-5. New pitcher is Michael Blazek. So Thornburg looks like he may be unavailable today. And Blazek picks up setup duty, which is where he began the season.
Yeah, rough time out. His first time back, coming off the disabled list against the A's. Gave up a couple of runs and in 2/3 of an inning of work. And falling behind 2-0. Well, the first point of action for this Brewers pitching staff is to retire the leadoff hitter here. It's been difficult for him to do.
Hasn't been done in the last 4 innings. 3 of those 4 have scored, and now Blazek falls behind Espinosa 3-0. Nationals today have had their leadoff man on 5 times, scoring 4 of those 5. There's a strike. Brewers have had 2 runners thrown out at the plate today. Jason Worth and Bryce Harper with outfield assist. Pop-up foul. Looks like it's headed for the seats. And it's 3-2 now. Blazek spent some time on the disabled list with an elbow injury. No structural damage, just some tightness. He came back. Just returned to the Brewers on the last road trip. Made his first outing in LA. But he began the year as the 8th inning man, the setup man. Thornburg was the 7th inning pitcher. Ideally, Counsell was going to have Will Smith and Jeremy Jeffress close games. Kind of a tandem closing role depending on matchups and how many appearances. And when Will Smith got hurt, it shifted it up a little bit. Jeffress has adapted well to that closer's role. He's been lights out. He has 20 saves now. 20 out of 21. Got one last night.
And the Brewers as a team have 22 saves. Thornburg has 2. Torres has 2. Blaine Boyer has a save, and then you got the Jeffress 20 saves. So this bullpen has not only been resilient, but they've been able to fill different roles. Brewers have been involved in a lot of close, low-scoring games.
Well, when Milwaukee leads after 7, they're 27-4. When they lead after 8, they're 28-1. That one blown save by Jeffress. And Blazek loses him. A walk, another leadoff base runner. Danny Espinosa is going to go through this game without an official at bat. 4 plate appearances, 2 walks, sack bunt, sack fly.
And missed with the only breaking ball he threw in that entire sequence on a 3-2 pitch. Curveball.
Pinch hitter, it's going to be Stephen Drew. 3rd pinch hitter used by Dusty Baker. He started his bench early today. Had a pinch hit appearance in the 4th inning. And Drew is the 3rd off the bench. 4 for 14 as a pinch hitter. And he's another guy that has hit some big home runs off the bench. He has 3 homers of the 4 pinch hits he has.
There's the issue that he had his last time out, talking about Blazek. Curveball, just not able to get the feel for it quite yet. Just off the DL. It's spinning up there, but doesn't seem to want to break a whole lot.
And big league hitters are so smart that way. They know when you're struggling with a certain pitch, and they'll dismiss it from the repertoire, right? They'll say, that's not what I'm looking for.
Yep, they're not going to give it a second thought unless you can throw it for strikes.
Drew pops it up. Got a long run. VR. Braun's coming in too. He'll make the call. And there is out number 1. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Steven Strasburg having one of the great years in Major League Baseball this year. 10-0 record, 2.90 ERA against Jimmy Nelson, who is desperately trying to get things turned around. He's had 4 rough starts in a row. His last start, numbers wise, okay. 5 innings, 1 run, but he labored in every inning trying to get back to where he was in April and May.
Yeah, left the game with a 2-run lead after 5 innings.
So that'll be tomorrow. Miller Lite, what's on tap? As a strike to Revere. Revere was on a playoff team last year with Toronto. Revere said he enjoyed that experience very much. That was a crazy scene in Toronto, that raucous crowd there at Rogers Center. Ground ball to short. VR on a hop to the bag, throw to first. Oh, it's in and out of the glove of Carter. A double play would have ended it.
Oh, man.
But now the tying run is going to second base.
Boy, that ball almost going right through the webbing of Chris Carter. VR winds up and throws a rope over there to first. A little bit high. VR takes it himself. He gets the out there. A high throw, and Chris Carter just missed it. Just missed it right off the glove.
Well, that's a tough one.
And that is a big mistake by the Brewers. And now they get the really difficult part of this lineup coming in. Well, Craig Counsell wants to take a look and see if there was some interference over there at second base.
It's worth a try just to see, but
see the slide of Espinoza.
And now I think Revere might be shaken up a little bit. Athletic trainers out for the Nationals. The inning should be over. Carter just missed it. We talk about the shadows for a hitter a lot in the late afternoon, and I think that was part of it. Now VR's got a cannon, but the throw from VR coming from the sun into the shadows.
Well, is he staking contact with the bag? I don't see anything wrong with this slide. That's a good slide. Well, he does leave the bag. Yeah. I think Craig Counsell, has he given up on the review or the asking of a review?
Yeah, he's out of challenges here, so.
But you can ask. It's after the 7th inning.
All right, so there will be no challenge. They're taking a look at it, but I think Greg Gibson saying move on here. Well, now the tying run at second. Inning should be over. Here's Jason Worth.
They just can't give these extra outs. I mean, that's just a gift. And now you get to the really tough part of this lineup.
By the way, they're going to score that at E3 on Carter. Doesn't fall under the rules of can't assume a double play on one like that.
No, the error is allowing him to get to second base. I mean, can't assume a double play, but a throw is missed and the runner is able to advance. There's where the error is.
Fielder's choice, E3. One and one to Jason Worth. On the ground, VR. He's got another one. He'll wind it up, and Carter catches this one. And the inning is over, so no harm. Blazek works through it. Brewers lead by a run. Bottom of the 8th coming.
day out there, but boy, he did the job in the 8th inning, surviving a leadoff walk. The Nationals don't score, so the Brewers clinging to a 1-0 lead as we get set for Brewers Live. Augie, the bullpen, 6 innings the last 2 games combined. They've only given up 1 earned run so far.
Yeah, they've been good all season long, but you know, when you play the good ball clubs like the Nationals, this is a very good offensive ball club. You know that the bullpen is going to be a big part of the ball game. It is today.
All right, we're going to catch up with Craig Counsell, the Brew Crew, see if Telly's got some interviews that the Brewers can hang on and win this game. And the Brewers also will look ahead to Game 3 of the series coming up after the ball game on Brewers Live. Brian?
All right, Craig, thanks. And here we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Sammy Solis is the new Nationals pitcher. You got to give their bullpen a lot of credit.
Yeah. And Brewers haven't scored since the 3rd inning. They've had some chances, a couple of outs at home plate today. Solis, one of 3 left-handers down in that Nationals bullpen. 3 left-handers and 4 right-handers down in the pen.
Hernan Perez leads off. Proud father of 2 now, Hernan Perez. Welcomed his 2nd child a couple of days ago, went on paternity leave, which gives you 3 days. Brewers had Yadiel Rivera up from AAA. Rivera actually got a start in Oakland while Perez was gone. He's got a lot of stress now, not just with the new baby, but he's trying to learn a new position at the big league level, right field. And a swing and a miss. Down he goes. Out number 1, a strikeout.
Yeah, good breaking ball there by Solis. It basically has all 4 pitches. He'll throw the curveball, changeup, fastball. He'll also cut it, which is like a slider. I think that was the pitch that he just got Perez on, that slider.
And here is Scooter Gennett, 0 for 3. Second game of this series. The Brewers won last night. Terrific game last night. Very well played. Craig Counsell saying thought it was one of the better all-around games the Brewers have had.
And timely hitting and excellent bullpen work.
Gennett just lays out on one, and that's going to fall. A base hit. A one-hander into center field. Scooter Gennett gets a base hit on a left-handed pitcher. He'll take those.
Out in front, but able to keep the hands back long enough to be able to get enough of it. Watch the hands. The hands stay back. The body goes forward. The hands stay back and able to just dump it out there into center field. Point is, make contact. Give yourself a chance. And Scooter with a base hit.
One-run game. Nationals scoring 2 in the 4th and solo runs in the 6th and the 7th to get it within a run. As Broxton skies one to right, it's slicing, but Harper is there in fair territory to make the play. 2 outs.
And Brewers are going to send up another left-handed hitter in the pitcher's spot. Flores, the only right-hander available, Maldonado. After Flores, it's only Neuenhuis available on the bench, other than Martin Maldonado.
Maldonado is in a timeout for cheating during the sausage race, so he can't play today.
He does that every sausage race. He has one of the little mini weenies cheat, and he starts them early.
And he hasn't played in any of those games, has he?
No, he hasn't. Rob Edwards, the PA announcer here at the ballpark, has started to call Maldonado out on the PA.
Flores takes a ball. Yeah, this is why Maldonado's in a timeout here. So what he does is he grabs one of the little weenies. He says, all right, look, go early. And it was the Italian who got the call today.
And you know, that kid in there knew that they shouldn't have been running. I mean, he was cheating. So he had to go because Martin told him to go.
I can't put that on the kid.
No, right. Felt bad about it. Still lost. Bad example you're setting, Martin.
On the ground to Murphy. And Flores is out. Inning over. 9th inning. 6-5. Brewers have a lead. Jeremy Jeffress with 20 saves. He's coming up. Bryce Harper will lead off. Saturday afternoon, Miller Park, and Brewers baseball today on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. And we go to the 9th. Save situation coming for Jeremy Jeffress. Ramon Flores will enter the game in right field as Counsell tightens up his defense. And it is not going to come easy for Jeffress today. He's got Bryce Harper, Daniel Murphy, and Wilson Ramos. First 3 up. Jeffress looking for back-to-back saves and looking for number 21 here today.
Well, and Jeffress had to get through the top of this Nationals order in last night's game. Able to get it done. He struggled a little bit, but put up a scoreless inning.
Brewers have been trying to work on the inside corner with fastballs on Harper all series, which is all well and good as long as you get it in there. In the National League, Jeffress is 5 off the lead. Jerry's Familia of the Mets leads the NL with 25. He has taken to the job well.
Well, it's not just the physical ability to be a good closer. You have to have that mental approach where you have to have a short memory. You got to have a lot of guts. And Jeremy has shown all of that so far.
Harper fouls it away. That one leaked into the hot zone for Bryce Harper, but enough heat on it. And the count goes to 1-2.
Yep, it was up. It was on the corner.
Jeffress, unlike a lot of closers, is a 3-pitch pitcher. And he doesn't throw a slider unlike a lot of closers. He's got a curveball. See what he has in mind for Harper. The 1-2, and there it is, and a little flare that's going to fall, a base hit. Harper thinking about 2, big turn, and again the Nationals have their leadoff man on.
Yep, curveball stayed up. Harper didn't hit it all that hard, but it was up and in, dumped it into center.
Oh, maybe the split change there.
Yeah,
huh?
change up, yep. And you know, Harper able to muscle it out there into center field.
6 straight innings the Nationals have had a lead man on, and 7 overall. Now the go-ahead run at the plate, Daniel Murphy, who has 3 hits today and a batting average of .355 for the year, the best batting average in the NL. There's a strike.
Time for him to hit one at somebody, right? Everything he's hit it hard. Give him that, but everything's found a hole.
Way inside. You could hear Murphy bark on that one. He was waiting for the pain.
Yeah, well, just Jerry Jeffers saying, you know, don't be leaning out over that outside corner. He's been handling an outside pitch pretty well.
Look at that face. Aye, he said. He stands right on top of the plate, so he is familiar with pitches coming in on him. He's been the best bat in the big leagues this year. On the ground, foul. Good play down there. That's away. One and 2 now on Murphy. The MVP of the NLCS last year. Breakout series for the Mets against the Cubs.
And he hadn't stopped hitting since. Amazing.
Signed a 3-year deal with Washington. Big dollars. 1-2 pitch in the air to right field. Long run for Flores. He's got it for the out. And Harper retreats.
Well, he did hit it at somebody. Not exactly at somebody, but he hit it so somebody could catch it this time.
Even his outs are firm, though.
That's right. It was a curveball. I think it was a curveball. Sometimes difficult to distinguish with the naked eye, but it was a curveball, not a bad one this time. And you see Murphy hits that one. He's on his front knee, back knee to hit that one. Trying to get down as low as he can.
Back knee in one hand. And it ends up at the warning track. It's a big out. 1 away now. And here is Wilson Ramos, who made the final out last night. Jeffress struck him out with a high curveball. There's a strike. Good fastball.
That's
well
where you
placed.
want it. Yep, down there. Get that double play ball.
That's what they call the Hall of Fame corner down there. If you consistently throw your fastball in that spot, that's where you're headed. Not many can do it, though. Right at the bottom of the strike zone. Interesting. That pitch was actually more into the strike zone, but the way Lucroy caught it, expecting something inside, he didn't get the call.
Yeah. Wasn't able to frame it, right? Shouldn't matter, though. A strike's a strike.
That's what umpires tell you.
That's what they'll tell you, right? But it's not the case, is it?
1-1 pitch on the ground, third base, got a chance. Hill to second, Jeanette the turn, and the ball game is over. A double play to end it. Jeremy Jeffress with save number 21. And the Brewers have taken back-to-back games on the Washington Nationals. The first place Nationals have now lost 7 straight.
No, they bended today, but they didn't break. But that Brewers offense big early in the game, and the bullpen coming up big when they needed to. How about Jeremy Jeffress? Good job again. getting through the heart and soul of this Nationals order back-to-back days.
Makes a winner out of Matt Garza, his first win of the season. Jeffress save number 21. The Brewers win 6-5. Chris Carter with a 3-run home run today. Time for Brewers Live. We send it to Craig Kashaw. He's standing by. Take it away, Craiger.